wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time.
I'm telling you, bros.
Yes, guys, you know what time it is. Intro by David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan.
Daniel Levy, if you are watching, you're a bald-headed.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness for your
I'm telling you, bro. 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 I'm telling you, bro.
What's going on, folks? Will Stewart here with another THFC rant. We've got it. Season is over, finally. Before we get rolling here, let's handle the business side of the show. People who we are very, very thankful for. Williams Rangers. You know him, you see him in the chat. Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coates, Celery Agent, the Mysterious AG, Kogama Nim, Tony Konim, and Alex Burton. And also, too, don't forget, if you like the show, if you like the funny memes, you can pick them up on your favorite merch at www.thfcrants.com. And lots of cool stuff. We got the moon boots, we got the mun, we got the bald and bearded Tottenham boys. We've got Only Cost 5 Mil and Danny Ings, as well as Man Smell, mugs, face masks, shirts, all the stuff that you need. And don't forget, hashtag free BJBJ. Still in the Mexican prison. Hasn't been bailed out yet. But you know how it is. Let's bring in the folks. Let's bring in the peoples. Let's bring them in now. What's up, fellas? Cody Mack is in the house.
Cody Mack did it. Cody Mack did it. Cody Mack did it.
And what Brian is famous for.
Daniel Levy, if you are watching, you're a bald-headed.
What's going on? And we've got Eugene. We don't have a sound for you yet, Eugene. You got to do something. Got to come up with a meme sound. You're muted, mate. You're muted.
Yeah. Come up with something. Think of something. All right. Maybe you guys think of something.
Not sure what there's to. You gotta come up with one, man. You gotta come up with one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster of a day. Let's say hello to some of the folks in the chat here. There's already a bunch of people in the chat. Eric Wong, welcome. First time I've seen you in the comments. Welcome to the show. We've got, Brian and Eugene, but they're here in the stream with us. We got John Fitzpatrick, Jason Groves, Moon Boots, 92 Flamethrower, Joseph Monahan. He wants to know when we'll see a Modi Quack and BJ for the tag team title. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe it'd be like Modi Quack and BJ versus the Irish Hotspur and Matty Hayes.
Well, geez, you got to make it a fair fight.
I think, Cody, to be serious, seeing that BJ originated on Tottenham away, I think it's got to be against the two Bryans.
It'd be too easy, though.
Yeah, for us.
BJ is like 6'5", 220 pounds. You know what I mean?
It won't be a We Are Tottenham TV quiz, Brian. It won't be a cake. Won't be a cakewalk.
Cage match.
If it was a quiz, it'd be a TKO, my friend. It'd be a TKO.
Maybe if we get enough Patreons, we'll do that this summer. We can, meet halfway and do that. So that'd be a funny video, to be honest with you. Be a funny video. Maybe through the magic of editing, we can make it happen. We got the Tottenham Texan back in the house. It says we peas and cups will peas and cups during live streams. Allegedly.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Hey, that's dedication right there.
Yeah. You guys haven't slept yet, right? You've been streaming straight on from. Yeah, I had to go back to get it, catch some sleep before coming on to this morning show. Yeah, don't forget. So on my side, it's already night.
Yes, so it's night for us now. So I've been on it. Yeah. I didn't make it to the pre-match pump up. Cody did, I think.
Yeah, Cody did. Yeah, Cody was in pre-match pump up.
I woke up this morning, dude, and I was like, seriously, my stomach was in knots. I thought I was going to throw up.
Oh dear.
I didn't though. I think it was just indigestion.
Okay.
And like in Korean, they say "chehada." I was actually surprised. Like in
too much spicy food.
In America, they you never really think of like indigestion like literally causing a fever and cold sweats and all that stuff. I was in Korea one time. I thought I had the flu or food poisoning or something. When my Korean friends gives me a little indigestion pill.
Antacid.
It wasn't even an antacid. It was like more of like a I don't know, some special pill that they use in Korea. And it's like we have Tums here, but that's usually just for like heartburn or upset stomach, right? But I was fine. was weird. I never felt that from indigestion in my life. So
Asians got this thing. They say you get rid of the wind in the stomach. You know, you just clear all the wind, then you feel better.
Steve Kong, 안녕하세요. If you're Korean, Kong is a Korean name, but it can also be others. I'm just guessing.
This is why Will started the channel, so that people could just watch Spurs content all
day long.
Unfortunately,
it's like Sky Sports News, just everything Tottenham.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the point. And then eventually we'll have the Spurswation TV over there continuing it on after this one ends. So for the people in the US that like to stay up past, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then today alone, hey, I think this is my 5th stream today alone. So I don't doubt it, Steve. I don't doubt it at all. Who else we got in the chance? Danny, you better get in here, Danny. I know your girlfriend's not there, so you can't use that as an excuse.
Always
so you got
playing
no
with
excuse
girl.
now, Danny. I'm calling you out now. You've been called out.
He's fighting it. He's fighting it. He's fighting the pressure.
Free BJ. We got Paul Anderson in the house. What's going on, Paul? Island Life. Lionel Messi's in the house. Lionel Messi's always in the shows. Shane Black. What's going on? A lot of people here tonight. DM. Dave Fisher. What's going on? Who else? Austin S. I think that's the first time I've seen your name in the chat. Welcome, Austin. Welcome, Austin. Glad to have you here on the show. Levy's Lasagna. That's pretty good. Will, do you think Alex is our tie from AFTV? He thinks the most average players are accessible as Spurs. Now, I would agree with you that Alex is delusional, as Ty is delusional. But Alex is a little bit smarter than Ty, I have to say.
Yep.
Because if you're a Spurs fan, you're already a little bit smarter than an Arsenal fan. So he's already got one up there. But no, Alex is a great guy. I disagree with 99% of what he says, but I love talking to him. He's always fun. The chemist in the house, 안녕하세요. And Terry Wright. Steve Kong says I was right. Well, thank you. I'm a good guesser. That's all we have in the chat so far. If you're watching the show and you want to join the stream, the link is pinned to the top. Click it. You don't need a camera. As long as we can hear your voice and there's not an extreme amount of feedback, you're welcome to join the show. But let's start with Cody Mack. Your thoughts on the day, and then we'll go down to Brian and over to Eugene.
Well, obviously a positive result, but as the day is worn on, the enjoyment has you have to enjoy when we win and when good things happen to the team, even when you're having a brutal season like we've had. So I've done that. I've gone on Twitter and I've wound up some Arsenal fans. I'm giving it to them because I know for a fact that we would have had, they would have been 100%. In our ear. Absolutely. And the reality is, I'm not so sure we'll be able to do it next year. So time now is to take your shots.
Did any of you watch the Arsenal match while we were their Spurs match today?
No, I'm going to watch match the day after I get off this.
No.
Yeah. But DT is literally watching the Spurs match on his phone live during their watch along. And you could see they're all happy. We're going, right? Say Tottenham's in, and then boom. Right? The second goal goes in. It's tied. Then the third one, and they're cussing out Harry Kane for the handball. Calling everybody mugs. And got Marcel in the chat. He says he'd come on, but he's burned out.
I'm telling you, bros.
You're here in spirit.
Here in spirit, here in the chat. You can rile people up in the chat just as easily as you could on stream. So,
well, yeah. As the day is worn on, it's 10 here in Canada, in Ontario. As the day is worn on, the joy has subsided and more of a feeling of relief it has set in, of just the relief that the season is over, that we're into the off season now. We can speculate on transfers. Hopefully we can get a manager appointed, but basically there's no real reason to wake up tomorrow and just think about Tottenham right off the bat. I say that, and probably by the time I wake up, there will be something terrible that's happened that will blow my phone up and set my mood for the day. But I'm gonna enjoy it, a win like that while we can, and I'm looking forward to going on the world famous Tottenham Away podcast tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe it's 3. If two's better for you, we'll make it 2. It's not an issue.
2's better for him.
No. It's anyways.
We'll sort that out tomorrow, Cody. Whatever works for you, we'll do.
Okay, it does say 3 p.m. on the tweet. 3 p.m. is fine. So 3 p.m. I'll be in there at 2 o'clock, but you guys can show up whenever you want. I have to tell you. So Stell has been back and forth with me because he's creating the thumbnail and he's getting Will to crop a photo of my face and everything. He sends me the link and I click on it and it goes to the show, and he's got Cody Mack with an American flag beside it, and it says USA Spurs fan on the thumbnail. I said, change that right now, Stell.
You're an American
Change
now,
that.
Cody. Ha ha ha.
American.
No, I'm getting
American
the flag.
now.
I'm getting the Canadian flag behind there because
You're
I
an
don't want to be.
American now.
I don't want to
No,
be
we've got-
confused. I don't. There's nothing wrong with Will as an American, but you wouldn't call someone who's English Welsh. You wouldn't call them Scottish. I mean, in fact, it would probably be more acceptable to do that since you're part of Great Britain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Canadian, we are not all the same over here. Okay, we live in different countries. There's like 3,000 miles between where Will and I live. And so, anyways, I had to laugh because
You're
this was like
just lucky
this was like
that
an hour ago.
there's no oil or anything that we need up there. Otherwise, you would be a part of America.
Yeah, true.
We have lots of resources you guys depend on. Don't you worry. We've got our lumber. We've got our water. Where do you think the water comes from to keep California alive? It comes from Canada, bud.
Maybe
But
California.
anyways,
That's
neither
because
here nor
California
there.
doesn't have
But
anything.
yeah, Stell was-
all
Stell
the
was-
water from
what-
my place comes in the lake behind my house. So
Yeah. But this is like an hour ago, so poor Stell is like 2:30 in the morning over there doing thumbnail corrections for the
The guy
podcast
don't
tomorrow.
sleep. The guy don't
Poor
sleep.
bastard.
you just do it tomorrow when he wakes up. I mean, he's got plenty of time.
That's what I said. I told him not to worry about it. That I would just set the record straight on the podcast tomorrow. But apparently that wasn't a good alternative.
We got LA Ian in the house. You guys have seen him on We Are Tottenham TV. I think he was on not too long after me.
Get in here, Ian. Get in here.
Yeah,
Click the
link at the
I'm
top.
not-
Ian, join the stream.
I'm not staying up forever. I'm done. It's the season has took it out of me. I've got maybe another half an hour left, and then I'm going to bed and I'm sleeping like there's no tomorrow. I'm done.
And then you got to stream tomorrow, and you got to stream on Tuesday, and then you got two streams on Tuesday.
Really?
Oh no, one stream on Tuesday, one stream on Wednesday.
Oh.
Thursday, if you decide to come in for the Creators Corner, and then too, this show. So for the people that are watching, this one will be transforming from post and pre-match to like a Friday or Saturday night. So like I know they got the two Brians that go from like 7 to 9, 7 9:30, 7 9:45, depending on how fun it is. So I figure if we roll this one just right after that, maybe a continuation of the fun, or maybe we'll do it on a Saturday. I don't know, but
Jason knows.
we'll call.
Jason
It'll start.
knows.
We'll switch. We're going to switch the title from pre-match rant and post-match rant to like a Friday night rants or Saturday night rants, and still give everybody. And then what the topic will be the Euros, I haven't decided who I'm going to support during the Euros yet. Do I support England? Do I support Scotland? Who do I support?
Oh yeah.
It's been a while since Scotland's been in the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's been a while.
a very, very long time.
Right, right.
So I figure
I
as
think
a
The last
blood
tournament they were
Scot.
at was France '98.
Cody's a Scot
Wow.
too. He needs to support Scotland in the
Scot.
Euros. Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Got two Scots over here.
Yeah.
And then we've got-
I want to cheer for a team that can win. At least have a chance of winning.
I look forward to
You
coming
know,
on the
like-
show after England Scotland.
Oh no,
Should
I'm
be
not.
fun.
Here's my logic. Okay, I usually like to cheer for Germany just because I love their system. I love the way they play. I always have, and but I think this time around, I think I have to get behind England just because I feel like just the way that Harry Kane talked about playing for England and winning a major trophy with his country. I think if England win Euros, it increases the chance that Harry Kane will stay at Tottenham. And that's what I want as a selfish Tottenham fan, is to keep Harry Kane forever.
So see, I'm kind of drawn like international competitions. So in the Euros, it makes it a little easier because it's really, I don't support any other country other than England, Scotland, based on principle. To be honest, I probably couldn't even name, other than Premier League players, I probably couldn't name the starting 11 of Scottish national team. Other than like Robinson and stuff like that. But in the World Cup though, I have, the United States men's national team and then Korea men's national team. And then after Korea went out in the group stages, I supported England in the World Cup. So I just kind of bounce around in the international games. US wasn't in the World Cup this past time, so that made it easy.
For me, I'm a surrogate English fan.
Poor Cody, he never gets in any international conversations or competitions, so he
2026, my friend, 2026.
2026.
get in by default.
The Canadian women have a very good team. The Canadian women have a very good team.
Oh, you got nobody in the world
Okay.
touches America when it comes to women's soccer.
Oh, come on, Will.
Well,
Are you serious?
Except the American team.
Are you
The American
serious?
team.
Was
The
right.
the U.S. women's national team
The
is
o-
like the
the only
Brazil
Amer-
of women's
Yeah,
soccer.
yeah. That's why I said you can't touch them.
It's like
Yeah,
the
the
dream
only
team
ones
in
that
the,
touch them
basketball.
are themselves. Get it?
Come
You
on,
get
Will.
my
Come
joke.
on, Cody. Yeah, come
I
on,
don't know
come
what
on.
Cody's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not. I watch the Women's World Cup just because it's a World Cup, but like regular matches, I find it difficult. Not
The World
that I
Cup, Women's
dislike
World Cup,
you or
I
I'm
watched
not
it, yeah.
doing it intentionally. I just can't get excited for it. So,
It's a
unfortunately,
tough one. It's a tough one.
Is there a women's league in America?
I think it's actually the most profitable one.
Oh,
The one in the UK is fairly
what do we-
new, but it's I think it's growing bigger and bigger.
in the UK, it's called Super League,
Yeah, Women's Super League or
Yeah.
something like that. Or,
Women's Super League, or something like that. Yeah.
and then they have one in
Oh,
Europe
hey,
too.
Jason.
What's the one in regular, like the one like
Hello.
France, Lyon, and all that stuff? What's that women's league called?
You
Anybody?
mean the one that you mean the one that Barcelona just won the Champions League from? I would imagine it would be the.
That's Women's Champions League.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean they have a
Barcelona
Champions League, but they
beat-
also have a regular league where it's
beat
like
Chelsea,
France
right?
and
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, with Chelsea 4-0. Women's. Yeah.
Aglia might know.
This
She said
person
she-
has been everywhere today. He or she. I do apologise.
She.
She. She's been absolutely. She's been on Tottenham away, and thank you for the excuse me, the support. But she has been everywhere.
She's
been
always
incredible.
everywhere. Yeah.
It's
Abby Light,
Yeah,
Sue Smith.
Sue Smith. Yeah.
but
Wayne
it's just
Bonner.
amazing.
Excuse
That's the
Wayne
thing. Cody,
Bonner.
do you know what? It's just
been everywhere.
Jay. You.
Hello?
If I was just about to come to you, Jason.
No, you're good. We can hear you. It's just a little bit quiet. I'll
okay.
turn you up. Don't worry about it.
Just about to come to you, but it's just amazing through these channels, through your channel, Will, through Tottenham Away. the amount of support where everyone follows it, it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal that people give up their time to literally, like people said, some people are watching their 5th show with some of us today. I've been on 3 or 4, but most of them have been Tottenham away. But it's a tremendous credit and thanks to everyone because they literally do follow us everywhere, which is really refreshing.
You gotta show love for the peeps.
Big time.
Oh.
L.A. Ian's in the house. First time on the show. Welcome.
Hi, Ian.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome,
What's up,
Ian.
everybody? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
Nice.
So,
nice.
next manager.
Season's over. I'm totally thrilled. Totally thrilled that I don't have to watch Tottenham. I'm totally thrilled that I don't have to like sit here wondering what the team sheet is going to look like. I'm totally thrilled that I don't have to listen to Ryan Mason speak in press conferences anymore. There's just so much to be grateful for right now.
Well, according
right
to Bob
moment.
Spur, they're going to give him a contract. So.
Oh, they best not. They best bloody not.
No, I was. Do you know
Contract
what?
for what?
Bob Spur's got me convinced. So, my manager thing is this. I thought it was going to be Graham Potter.
Yep.
My conspiracy theory side of me is like it's going to be Potts, but Bob Spur's got me convinced it's going to be Ten Hag. Like my brain's everywhere, man.
So Jay, I will say one thing. Since this has happened, and even before Mourinho got sacked, I was firmly wanting Ten Hag, but only if Ten Hag could bring not his actual recruitment team. So I don't know if I actually let him go, but if he could bring the structure.
Background. Yeah.
So like the same structure that he has at Ajax to operate.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went for him, I was like, oh yes, thank God, please. And then we all know what.
You bull cunt!
Yeah.
I can see you! You can see me!
So I really wanted it to be Ten Hag.
But guys, actually, it doesn't matter who comes in. Just as long as Levy doesn't control everything, right? He's going to screw it up again.
Yeah, but see,
He has to let go.
Listen,
I don't think Ten Hag signed. I think
if
they
they bring
enacted
a
an
manager
extension,
in,
didn't they?
Yeah, and micromanagers.
yeah, but that just might be trying to up the price. But like, if they bring a manager in, and because like the quote from Ali Gold was like, whoever they bring in is going to challenge Tottenham from a financial standpoint. So basically, it was like he's talking as if the manager that they bring in is going to want a lot of money to spend. If they bring in someone and back them, good, that's great. But why the hell would you just not have done that in the first place with Jose Mourinho? You know what I mean?
Oh,
This all could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think it's all another disillusion, distraction by the guy from them again. They keep playing this game over and over and over again. But let's hope this time, maybe he should appoint a DOF first. Then it shows that maybe we're moving in the right direction. If he doesn't appoint the DOF first, we're going back to square one again. He can bring in Superman to run the team.
I want to know what Ian thinks.
Yeah, Ian, come on.
I think we have a lot of obviously we have structural issues at this club. I mean, it is a disaster right now, and it would be nice to out of everyone, Mourinho, Enoch, Levy, whatever. I seriously think the number one problem is Steve Hitchen. That man cannot spend any more money for this club. I don't understand how he is still on a job. How?
Amen.
Right? If Levy, if he's this man that he says he is, he cares about the club and he wants to manage us correctly. He'll surely you look at his past signings. I saw Cody Mack last night on your tweet. I mean, maybe one of those signings is going to turn out to be a good signing, which is Ndombele. And currently, for some reason, Mason's not playing him. He's had some rough patches. He's had some good ones. I don't know why that man still is in our club and running the operations of bringing players in and out. And I don't see why someone else can easily come in. I feel like it's obviously easier said than done. Everything is, especially at this level. But
Steve's listening.
Steve, get the hell out of here, man.
You don't even know, like, Steve is the funniest guy ever, man.
Join the stream, Steve.
Yeah, hey,
Look,
Steve, come on in. I feel like that job can be replaced, not easily, but surely there's someone better than Steve Hitchen that we can get, who hates half his job. You guys remember in the In the documentary, he's saying he hates the January transfer window. That's half your job, man.
That one line in that documentary has like fueled so much of this ire towards him, aside from the obvious fact that he's not very good at his job. But that poor bastard, like, I mean, is that not supposed to make you like, who among us doesn't hate an aspect of our job, you know? Maybe not the principal aspect of our job, but it's just that one screenshot of him with the caption, I hate it, is just legendary on Twitter.
Everyone's hating Hitchin, but who fucking promoted Hitchin and who's keeping Hitchin in a fucking job?
The great businessman, Jay. The great businessman. We're losing 250 million.
Yeah, such a great businessman. Such a great businessman.
But
no accountability. No accountability.
The thing you've got to look at with that Alistair Gold tweet as well, and I love Ali Gold. I absolutely adore him and speak very highly of him. But he also said it weren't his fault. He also said we're going to have a manager by the end of the season. We didn't.
Well, yeah.
He's
not always right.
Exactly. Now, the other thing is, Daniel Levy can say, or we can come out and hear this rumor that, this manager is going to test the financial aspects with Levy. That's very good. People have been testing him for 20 years.
Welcome to the show. First time I've seen your name.
This is why, like I said, with the whole smoke and mirrors thing, I'm just waiting for our first bid of the season to go in for someone where, let's say, they're worth 50 million and we bid 35 and send Hitchin out for a month to have a good look at the area and put a review on TripAdvisor. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's literally, it's boy who cried wolf syndrome.
Well, we don't even get a manager when the season starts. Nobody wants to come.
Oh, look, we'll have plenty to rant about this summer. I guarantee you. Once the
that would be a big one.
I think the transfer window opens June 1st.
Well,
not sure.
Technically, it opens June 9th. But what you can do, you can start putting bids in now and everything.
Pre-contracts and all that.
Yeah, but you need a manager in place ASAP because he needs to be the one that's picking these players.
Exactly.
They need to be his players to fit in his system. I mean, I was watching the after-match interviews, and they were interviewing Rodgers, and he was saying about he lost a player and he didn't have a player fit that would actually fill that particular role. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have that kind of thing because, like, whoever's doing our recruiting isn't doing it at the manager's behest. Or it doesn't appear to be. It's just like, here's a bunch of players, make it work.
Jay, question for you. Do you get to watch match? I know obviously you're here with in Canada with us. Do you actually get to watch match today from back home where you are?
No, dude. Like, I wish I could.
I've got a link. I'm going to send you a link via WhatsApp now.
Oh, please do.
Match of the day. Perfect quality.
Superb.
So I'm going to be watching that after. I'll send that to you. I'll find that for you in a second and send it over to you.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to watch match today. But Cody, I want to put another bet on with you. So I already owe you beers for the first game of the season when, please God, this order's done and you come down to the Scotland Yard. I'm going to raise it to 2 bets, to 2 games, because
welcome to the chat.
You know, when you said when we wake up, we'll see if I guarantee that before you come on Tottenham away tomorrow, there will be another breaking news thing about whether it be Harry Kane, progress of a manager. I guarantee you there'll be. You don't have to bet anything. Basically, if there is, I win, and if not, you get 2 days where I just pay for your beers and food all day at Scotland Yard. No lose for you.
Did you guys see that Gareth Bale was in Madrid like 4 hours after the game ended?
Yeah.
Well, his family's still there.
Yeah, he was just obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's gone back
on loan, so I guess maybe his family stayed in Madrid while he played with us this season. He just flew right back.
Yeah, his family stayed in Madrid. His wife and kids did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that says a lot.
So I'd go back too.
Me too.
I don't know if you guys already talked about
I like looking at Cody's butt while he's over there bent over turning on his lamp.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys already talked about it, but if Kane goes, do you think Son goes as well with him?
I think there's a big shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
No, come on. Son haven't even signed his extension yet, right? So
Yeah,
Oh, he won't. That's not going to happen now. I guarantee.
But,
He may not. He may not force a move. I don't think Levy wouldn't get near as much slack in the press for pressuring Son to stay to the end of his contract. And Son's the kind of guy that he's not gonna like not play. So
he can't afford to lose the Korean fans.
Yeah, but I don't agree with forcing anyone to stay anywhere, man. Like, if someone doesn't want to play for my club, get them gone.
True.
That's just how
True.
I feel. I've always felt like that from day one. If you don't want to be Tottenham, don't be Tottenham. Find someone that does.
well, I'm for me on it's more of a practical sense. Why would you let someone go out on a free or a class player go out for 20 million when you could get 80? You know what I mean? Like I just don't,
I get
Jason
you.
just sent it to you.
All right, cheers, bud.
because you can't replace them if you let them run their contracts out.
No.
You don't have the money to replace anybody.
Well, you end up in that whole situation we was in last year.
Yeah, with Ericsson.
Yeah.
Ericsson. Yeah.
100%.
Is that when I go to bed?
Oh, guys, happy St. Woolwich Day.
Yes. Happy St. Woolwich Day.
Absolutely.
So,
See, that was the thing.
Where are all the Gooner trolls at tonight? Where are you guys at?
I
You
have
guys
to say,
lurking?
I enjoyed my WhatsApp going crazy for 25 minutes, going ha 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 ha, and then I was just like, sorry. Then I just did one of those. Where did everybody go? Kind of tweets.
I enjoyed our WhatsApp group chat last night during the match when everybody was going crazy. Remember?
Yeah, I sent quite a few naughty voice notes in there, which
ton.
I know.
A ton.
The only Gooner
혹시
channel
한국 사람이에요?
I watch is Hugh Wizzy, because he's actually fairly knowledgeable on football, although he's a straight Gooner. But like, he was funny, man. Like when it turned out they were eighth, he's like, "Well, at least I got my Thursdays back." It's just like, yeah, I guess.
Said 2 comments jumped in there all of myself. Kevin says probably 95. Lone Tree asks, I wonder how much South Korean revenue goes out the window. And the chemist too is Korean says probably around 95% of it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's probably very true. I mean, they just love Sonny, and so wherever he goes, that's the team they'll at least watch. Maybe not. Yeah.
They're following Sonny, not Spurs.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's why.
Ryan,
But some of
Jason,
them,
you ever watch
some of them will get
Greaves
trapped
play?
into loving Spurs too. You see, like a lot of them, you know.
I never saw Greavesy play. He was before my time. My dad's see it. I've seen clips of him. I remember watching him as a pundit on TV. He had who was that?
St. John.
Yes, that was a
best
classic
Saturday,
show.
best Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Show. That was the best way. And I'll tell you what, that
Saint
show
and
got,
Greavesy, wasn't it?
yeah, that show got me into so much trouble as a kid. They used to do goal of the season, and it was one of those premium rate numbers, and I remembered the number off by heart. And it was the season where, I don't know if you remember, Jay, where Paul Stewart scored a cracking volley against Coventry, where he kneed it over the play, like Gazza's kind of goal.
Yeah,
but he kneed it over, mate. And I must have voted for it over 100 times. And then my pet,
I'll put your parents, please.
Oh, mate. So that season, what was I? So 79, 91. So about 11 years old or something. And that's in England. What in England you used to get your phone bills quarterly, like your landline bills. Or when I've called a premium rate number, which is like, I think it was £1.50 a minute, and the call was like 2 or 3 minutes, and I called it over 300 times. Let's just or 100 times. Sorry, yeah. I think when the parents got the phone bill, just to say I wasn't, I was grounded for some considerable amount of time. Let's just put it that way.
It was worth it.
Oh,
because that was a good goal.
Cody's trying to trigger me.
He won it, but yeah, but
I didn't make the comment.
Greavesy was Greavesy is incredible. Greavesy was.
Yes,
my dad speaks about him. My grandpa did some of the goals he's got.
Yeah, but he was pure natural class.
He was. You got to remember, Jay, that the pitches back then were a fucking state.
So the balls were great.
Exactly. You imagine what he'd be like now, like a Greavesy in his prime now.
He'd be a
He'd make Harry Kane. He'd dwarf Harry Kane.
Oh yeah, he was just.
Oh, that was a different era of players. Come on, right?
Oh man,
totally
he had
different
Adam
era.
Gilzine Alan Gilzine,
What do you
David
guys?
Mackay.
What do you guys think about? What do you think about this comment here by John? We'll start with Brian Daigle.
He is world class. He is world class. But don't get me wrong. The last few months he's been off the boil. But the way I identify world class is, could he go into any team and make it better? And the answer is quite simply yes. He could go anywhere. There is not, and it's not. You just got to remember, with Son, you're not just getting the phenomenal player. Wherever he goes, he lights up the room. He literally brings so much to the group. He brings so much, and like I said, the last few weeks few months he's been off the boil. But again, a lot of the things with Kane and Son this season, not just this season, many seasons, they've been overplayed and underappreciated by Daniel Levy by not getting suitable backups for them, so they can have a. And when I say backups, I mean you look at all the teams in the world. They can rotate like the big teams. They can rotate to keep the players fresh, to give them a rest, whatever you want to call it. If they've had a little knock, to let them recover properly so they come back. And we just haven't been able to. And it's really come to Son. And to me, he's 100% world class.
Eugene, you agree?
Yeah, he's world class, but he did drop a form about after Mourinho left. Maybe that is more emotional kind of thing. But if his heart is there and he's fit enough, he can beat anyone, right? But
Mr. Groves.
Yes, he is world class because there isn't a team that wouldn't take him, and that should tell you all you need to know in that conversation. Period. Done.
L.A. Ian.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the only reason why you're asking, or John's asking that question in the first place, is because he's in the Spurs side. If he was in, a Man City, a PSG side, he would be going absolutely nuts. And so, yes, his form has dipped in the past, probably a month or two, but that man walks in any squad. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a career season. There have been moments of inconsistency, but I think that's normal even among world-class players. It depends. This term is very difficult to pin down. Like, where do you draw the line between who is world-class and who is not world-class? But I mean, you're talking about, okay, so Harry Kane, we know Harry Kane is world-class. He led the Premier League in goals. He led the Premier League in assists. Well, Son was
best
fourth
winger
in
the Premier League this season.
Son was fourth in goals and fourth in assists in what is widely renowned as the best league in the world. I don't think the Premier League is levels above the other leagues like some people do, but I think he's world class.
It's 100% because, like, if you count as attacking returns, Kane is the number one striker in the league, and Son is the number 2. And if you want to talk about all around players, like a golden ball type scenario, you've got Bruno Fernandes, or yet Kane at 37, Bruno Fernandes at 30, and Son at 27. So they're 1, 2, 3. If you're talking about, like player of the year type rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about player of the year. Yes, Ruben Diaz has come in and transformed Man City's defense. There's absolutely no doubt about it whatsoever, and he has been like what Van Dijk did to Liverpool. There is no doubt about that. A player we should have got, but we all know that story, and I'm not going down that road. But how can you have a player that was first got golden boot winner, most assists in a shit team? Let's be serious. And he doesn't get the. I know it's normally attackers that win it because attackers score the goals and whatever. But how Kane has got overlooked for this is just beyond me. Without
like
my
you said, Brian, he's in a shit team.
It's Tottenham bias. Yeah, but it's Tottenham
he's in a shit team. That's why.
It's Tottenham bias. That's what it is.
Oh no, they always give these awards to somebody who from a winning team
wins the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right. Like if we would have won the league, Kane would be in for the Ballon d'Or, or he would probably win the Ballon d'Or this season.
Kane should be up for it regardless.
Sure, I'll make the short
I
list.
But if Kane lifts the Euros, maybe
it's a possibility.
Yeah. If he lifts the Euros,
Golden boot at the Euros. Golden boot at the Euros and wins the Euros.
Yeah.
for it. Because they
Well, if
do
you
rate
get-
international competitions higher than club
Yeah.
competitions.
He's got to
Well,
be
if-
at least in the conversation.
And if he gets the Golden Boot at the Euros, I think he'll be the first striker ever to win the Golden Boot at a World Cup straight after and then the Euros, like consecutively.
Yeah.
I know there's strikers that have done both, but I don't think there's any that have done it consecutively.
And don't forget, next year is the World Cup.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Qatar.
When is the World Cup?
Jesus.
2022.
Qatar was supposed to be in 2020.
It's like
2022
November of 2022, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
November.
November, yeah.
So it's after the season.
Yeah.
After the summer.
Mid-season. After the summer. Mid-season. Somehow the next World Cup is very confusing.
It's because it's too damn hot to do it in the middle of the summer.
I know. What is that?
Why the hell did they give it to them
So
then?
stupid.
Money,
It's
money,
so-
money.
Yep, exactly.
I mean,
what it is.
selfishly, I wish there wasn't an international competition because whoever our new coach is going to need all the time he can get with those players. I tell you.
Well, this is the
Just
thing, Jason, as well.
play at night.
When you go to buy these players, it's when you bring a brand new manager in, it's very, very hard to bring them in straight after the season and say,
Yeah.
right, I want these players, but these players are with their countries wherever in the Euros doing what. It's the worst time. This is why they should have had, even if they didn't announce it to us, there should have been a manager ready for them
Yeah.
to announce, let's say tomorrow, that had just had 3 or 4 weeks to say, right, this is who I want, start working on this. It's
Right.
just been a shambles.
As everything.
So, did anybody read Dele's post?
Yo,
I did.
I've got it right here.
I did, yeah.
Helps if you move the comment up.
Goes
there.
without- Goes without saying, this season has been the most difficult in my career so far. There have been some incredibly low moments and tough challenges I've had to face, but I'm grateful to always have the opportunity to do what I love. This season has taught me I can't take anything for granted, and I'm more determined than ever to come back fitter and stronger. Thanks to the fans for the great support as always, and look forward to seeing you all back in the stadiums next season. Do we believe it?
Why didn't he pick the White Hart?
I
Blue
know.
Heart's one the Chelsea fans pick.
Why didn't he pick?
The White Hart.
Probably because most people don't. Maybe there's too many people that don't use dark mode. Like it wouldn't have shown up.
No, it's outlined in drop shadow.
Tip your cap for the White Hart. Touch your cap for the White
think-
Hart.
I think
Yeah,
we
but
all
you
want
see,
to
like
believe him.
yesterday's match, right? When Dele got substituted, that's when the game turned.
It did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. With him in there, it was like, oh gosh. The midfield was missing again.
Well, look at the midfield and ask yourself why.
Harry
Yeah.
Winks.
I know.
Winks.
Jesus Christ. Why do we start
Winks.
Winks, man?
Oh, just
Maybe Gareth Southgate was in the stands again. Yeah, that's why.
We all want to believe that post that he'll come back, fitter and stronger. He's going to put in all the work during training. But even when Dele was at his best, I think we all knew that he was, sort of this naturally talented, gifted player. So he didn't have to work as hard as the other players.
Oh no, it's not even that, dude. It's like his mind is not even in it. Like he dumped his girlfriend. When was it that he dumped his girlfriend? I want to say like March, April.
No, it was earlier than that. I think
Was it
February.
earlier?
I think it was February. Late February, maybe early March. Maybe.
And then by April, he's already smooching on Pep's daughter.
Yep, this is what he does for the media. I mean, in all honesty, Dele Alli should have been writing that Instagram post for the last 3 years. It's not just been this season. It's been the last couple of years of Poch, the whole Mourinho era, apart from the very beginning bit
Yeah.
where he started off well and he did that incredible. I mean, you can't deny on Mourinho's first game, that flick he did to set up West Ham's second goal when he's Tottenham's
His
second goal
son.
against West Ham. Yeah, when he was falling down was simply breathtaking. And his goal against United was outstanding.
Yeah.
But this is what he can do now. In the second season that he was with us, the last year of the Lane, I was very, very lucky to go to most of those home games. And I got to sit in a box for a contact I had within the club. So I got the greatest views. I got to see him. And Dele Alli during that time was breathtaking. Was like, right, we have got a player here. But what we've done with Dele, and again, this comes back to Levy. If you look at it, those 2 seasons, he was brilliant. Then when we didn't sign anyone to help when we moved to Wembley, he then dropped Dele from being like the number 10 running on like a Frank Lampard. He played him deeper. so he had to contribute more on the defensive side. Then he had to run back up. We dropped him out of his best position to put him in a position to fill a hole, and that's
what we do.
And that's what started the decline. And then also, he got his contract. I mean, he went from, I think he started on 10,000. Then his new contract went up to 25. Then he got another one to 50, and then he got another one at 100. And then at
Everybody
100,
make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell in the middle of the stream, if you would.
When you're 22 years old and you're on 100 grand a week, plus all these endorsements coming in, your head gets turned easily. And his attitude and professionalism has been found absolutely wanting. I mean, to think now that he was going into the World Cup, he was a dead set for England, and the Euros in France, where we were diabolical. But now you've got Maddison, Grealish, Mount, all above him. And if I was Dele Alli, I'd be like, right, I want to get my arse in gear. I'm better than all of them. And he's shown none of it. None of it, in my opinion.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. But let's see whether he's going to be sold or he's going to be kept and given a chance to prove himself again. Right? And the chances of him getting to the England team, I think, it's too slim. We've got too many better midfielders and form. No chance, yeah. But if he does well the new season coming in, he might have a chance to get into the World Cup team. Right? Because if I see it, all the players that now all the big international tournaments are coming hot and fast. So they will have to perform. And let's see. He might be sold to somewhere else and maybe overseas or PSG or something, and he starts to perform there.
Well,
right? Which is what Levy always fears.
And to be quite honest,
how's the Bale money getting on?
Levy
is
never going to sell him.
It's happened again. It's happened again. Woolwich Wanderers. It's happened again.
I'm saying.
Fuck yeah, boys. Get in there.
Moon boots. Oh, that's great.
And Abdul's in the house.
How much do we get for Ali now? Every year it goes down. He's
not going to sell him, bud. You know it.
No, yeah, he's not going to sell Ali.
Abdul, how we doing?
Doing good, man. He should sell Ali. I'm
100% agree.
The scarf doesn't look like it fits you, Kieran.
Huh?
The scarf doesn't look like it fits you.
It's a lanyard for my car keys.
I know, I'm just teasing.
And Will thought he was tall.
But yeah,
we got come down to it. We still need to know whether we're going to get a DOF and a manager, and hopefully the manager that we get has his job as a manager, all right, and not being controlled by who.
Alistair Gold said something interesting today, which is that the new manager is going to challenge Levy's willingness to spend. So
is every manager, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, he's going to get fired in a week then, and we'll need another manager.
Basically, they're polishing a turd again and just hoping that we don't see it.
Well, I guess we can always hope they polish it really brightly, and then someone else wants to buy the turd.
We got lots of turds to sell.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah, I really hope Levy gets on the phone to all the super agents and is like, we're having a fire sale, Come on, get these guys out of here. Just.
So then the super agents are going to call back and say that, I'm going to sell your turds.
So this is the thing. Okay, so I want to see what everyone says. Cody, we'll start with you because you're at the top. If you had to get rid of 3 players right now, and I want to know why and the value, because you could say like Dyer and Sanchez or whatever, you've got to look at the value they're going to bring in. Who would your 3 be?
My 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would get rid of Aurier because I feel like he's a poisonous character in the dressing room, and I think that's been proven in the last few weeks. He's coming into the last year of his deal, so if you could get 10 million for him, I would take it. I think we paid 22 for him. I would basically the same thing for Sissoko. I mean, at least like Aurier, he's a very inconsistent player, and he's got a big mistake in him, same way as Davinson Sanchez does. But at least in terms of like the ceiling that he can bring to a game, like Aurier can have a good game. Sissoko just can't have a good game anymore. You know, like when was the last time you can remember Sissoko having an impact on a game for a long period of time? It's been forever, right? So those two I would get rid of. Man, this is hard because I would get rid of like probably 14 players.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's 10 players that
yeah,
go.
yeah. I would probably get rid of 14 players. Like, you know, I wouldn't hang on to Hugo Lloris. I would replace him now. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He was offered a contract. He refused it. You can't just. The thing is, we've given a lot of these guys a long time to try and make an impact. And yeah, Hugo's been an excellent servant. If he doesn't want to sign a contract extension, then you should let him go because he doesn't want to stay. You know, you owe him that. So that's like a two-way street. And then like who else? Man, it's so tough. There's so many. Probably Lamella, just because I feel like he's kind of useless. You know, but none of those three would be like revenue generators. You know, they would all be in the range of 10 to 15 million at the most. You know, so
wage bill, though,
it's not like that would.
The wage bill,
if we sold those three. Yeah, if we sold those three and we generated 30 to 40 million and replaced them with players on loan and then bought a quality player with the money we generated, I think that would go a long way. And I think that's like a realistic expectation. I think everyone in this panel would acknowledge that we're not going to be able to move on the number of players that we need to in the summer, especially considering that it's Euros. So, tough question.
Lookman.
For me, it's like since Cody has said those three, it's like we have to sell 3 to get 1, 3 to get 1 with the amount of deadwood that we have. So Dyer, right? He doesn't know where the ball is. Okay, passes him all the time. Maybe we can get 10, 15 million for him. All right. Midfield wings keeps going backwards. Right. Maybe get another 10, 15 million for him. Okay. Let me see. Who else? You already said Lamella, right? Yeah. But like Lloris, we have to get rid of him. Not say get rid of him. Yeah, his contract is up. And I don't want to see a goalkeeper being our captain again. Come on. Right? Put it on the striker. Right, at least if he goes out, I mean, we can change. Someone else become the captain, like Højbjerg or Kane. Kane is still around. Right? And maybe someone else in. Okay. Surprisingly, Doherty did quite well yesterday. Surprisingly, yeah. One more. Who else? Off my mind. I can't think. Pass it on to someone else.
I think one caveat that I will throw in is like it depends if Kane leaves, because if Kane leaves, that's an English homegrown player that's gone. So that limits the amount of English players you can move out. That's kind of why I thought, okay, you move on 3 foreign players, and that gives you room to buy.
Sanchez.
Dyer is a foreign player.
Sanchez is one more. You know why? I don't understand why he keeps slipping. You watch yesterday's match. He's like on the ground half the bloody time.
Yeah,
he's a nice.
Not intentionally. He keeps falling off. I mean, he's got weak knees or something.
Everyone says Sanchez.
We might get about another 20 million for him because he's of his age.
Okay.
Blocks, but
Jason,
is he though?
Yeah, he actually is. He's quick off the blocks. He's our fastest defender.
I remember him getting beat like at least 5 times.
Well, that's not to say he's not quick.
He can't move.
But he keeps falling down.
He's a fucking baby gazelle though. He's got no coordination. Anyway,
yeah, he keeps falling down.
I'd personally get rid of Winks and I think you'll get more for him than you think. Because although we think he's shit, he's British, which means he's going to fill someone's homegrown quota.
Yeah,
and I think we'll get a little bit. I think we'll get.
What are the rules next year? How many foreign players are we allowed to have on the playing on the team at one time? 3, 4?
I don't know.
God knows.
I would get rid of him.
4.
I'd get rid of Winks, Dyer, and Davies.
Okay. Ian?
Oh, Davies.
Okay,
I forgot
what about
Davies
you?
there.
What about Ian?
I don't need Davies because we got Matey Boy coming back.
Yeah,
in.
we're gonna have Sessegnon and Reggie.
And Sergio. Reggie,
I would
Sergio.
say Aurier.
Lavinia.
Get rid of Aurier. Get rid of Winks and get rid of Sissoko. I do not care for any of those players at all. I do think I forgot who said it, but I think we're gonna get a little more for Winks than what we think. But I mean, if only 3, those are the 3. I mean, there's a lot more that could go, and we would all prefer them to go.
I could rattle off the list.
Yeah.
How many do you think you actually are going to go? How many people out of that general list that everyone sort of mentions are actually going to go? Maybe what, 2, 3? When really, realistically,
I hope 4. I'm hoping for 4.
at least.
I think it'll be like 4 or 5 because isn't like Serge Aurier practically already leaving like early in the transfer window? Like there's like reports picking up of him going to PSG. So I can see Serge Aurier going like right at ASAP as soon as the transfer window opens.
Why would Portugal or
He actually had a half decent game for him today. In all fairness.
There were links before with Serge and AC Milan, and that didn't happen. So
but who would be your 3 to sell?
So the first 2 are ones that people have already said. Harry Winks, get him out of here. I think he's a part of that toxic dressing room component, and just a useless player for this squad at this level. I think he's a bottom of the table Premier League player at best. He might fare better in like maybe the Spanish league, like people have said. But I mean, even then, I can't see him playing for one of the bigger squads like Atletico or certainly not Barca or Real. But even playing for like a Valencia, I think, or Sevilla might be above his level. So the second one is Aurier. For basically the same reasons Cody said, just absolutely terrible for the dressing room, toxic. And for me, walking off at halftime in that Liverpool game is unacceptable and unforgivable. I don't care who you are or how good you are. You're a professional player. You're under contract at Tottenham Hotspur. You're playing in the game and getting a bonus because, they all have appearance bonuses in their contracts because that's how Daniel Levy likes to structure his contracts. So you're getting money just for being there and being on the team sheet and starting the game. You're part of the reason why we're losing, and you're going to walk out. I don't care what the manager or any of the other players said to you at halftime. You do your fucking job. So for me, I don't think he should have ever played for Tottenham Hotspur again after that match. That should have been the end of it right then and there. As far as I'm concerned, if it would have been possible, I don't think this is allowed, but if it was possible, I'd kick him out of the squad completely and bring Danny Rose back in. Like that's how strongly I feel about it. The third one is one probably no one's going to agree with me on, but Dele Alli.
Thank you.
He needs
That's
to go.
number 1 on my list. Number 1 on my list.
He's extremely toxic to the dressing room. It's obvious. He's not focused on his career. He's just shown, I mean, and it's not the first season he's been bad. People act like this is the first season. No, he just hasn't played. But the last 2 seasons, he was bad as well. We dragged him through that Champions League run.
Yes.
He did not control until that last kick of the game in Ajax. He didn't do anything that was really influential in those games. I think Dele Alli has to go. One, because of the value we can get for him, of course, but also because both for his sake and Tottenham's, we're not going to get any better with him. He's not going to get any better while he's here, and we both might have a chance to improve if we parted ways. So those are my.
All right, no disrespect to your list of 3, but that's two homegrown players gone out the door. You got to replace them both. So
youth players.
That's a tough one.
Bring in the youth players to the squad.
Yeah,
we already have young players and under 23s who are ready to come up.
I hear you. Okay, Abdul.
Yeah. So first one I have on my list is Serge Aurier. He's like what everybody always said, he's kind of toxic. You can tell that if he's not getting his way or if he's not playing, he's gonna let it be known. He's very loud spoken. Like he's a player that you can easily read. If he's not happy, he'll let you know. Like he's not a quiet player that'll keep his emotions to himself. If he's not playing, he'll let the coach know why he's not playing, or tell him to put him on. Like when I Serge Aurier, just a mistake waiting to happen. He's just red cards and just stupid tackles all over the place. I think Sissoko, his head is gone. I think Sissoko, his urge to fight for the Tottenham team is gone now. The only thing we could have said about Moussa Sissoko a couple of years ago is that he's willing to fight for the badge. He's willing to run and cover every blade of grass, is what we always used to say about Moussa Sissoko. But he doesn't even offer that anymore. I've always said Moussa Sissoko has like the technical ability of like a League One player. Technique-wise, it's terrible. But he was extremely athletic, and then he was always fighting for the team, which is why we loved him. He doesn't fight for the team anymore, so he's practically useless. And then the third player, I probably would say is Dele Alli, to be honest. Dele Alli does not offer anything. The game has sort of moved away from that number 10 position. Again, if you can't really pick out a pass, if you're not really tidy on the ball, like Dele Alli doesn't have the skills to be a number 10. The only reason why he's playing as a number 10 is because, again, he has good finishing ability. Again, like his positioning is great, but he can't hold up the ball like a striker. He cannot pass the ball and hold the ball in a pressure situation. He's not press resistant like a midfielder. So we just put him at the number 10 because we can't play him as a striker, right? And he's not fast enough to be a winger. So he's just a player that he just puts so much extra pressure on the coach to try and fit him in. But he's a really hard player to try and fit in. And again, he's like what everybody always said, he's toxic, there's always drama around his name, and you can also probably get a fair value for him. So Dele Alli, again, yeah, that's pretty much my three. So Dele Alli, Sissoko, and Aurier.
So I have to say mine would be Dele, Dyer, and I was going to say Sissoko, but Terry Wright, who's a great supporter of all the channels, has come up with a great shout, because I love Max Aarons. And he said 15 million plus wings for Max Aarons. I think you might need to go to 20.
I think they'd buy on that, though.
I think that's a great shout. And if that was the case and we could get that deal done, I would swap Sissoko for Aurier, because you're replacing him with the right back. I think what Terry has just said is a fantastic shout, because I know Everton want him, and they're looking for a skip type player. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Harry Winks is on his skip, but he's a midfielder, and I reckon, exactly. They don't know that we know, do they, Jay? Then, obviously, if we got done with Doherty, let's do this to Norwich, because I think that is a great shout from Terry. I want Max Aarons to be our first signing of the season. I think he's terrific and could be a right back for a decade.
You think Winks is only worth 20 million?
Mate, I don't care. If Norwich would bite at it, I would literally 15, 20 million plus Winks.
Well, Steve, he's an English international, and he takes up a homegrown quota. I think he's worth look
at least 30, 35, I would assume.
Yeah, it's just whether you're going to find someone stupid enough to pay that for him.
Apparently, Pep was going to pay 40 over the winter transfer window, and we didn't do it.
Oh,
really?
God damn.
Pep.
Well, where would Dele play in that squad? In De Bruyne's?
No, Winks.
No way.
No, Winks.
Oh, Winks. Sorry, my bad.
Where would Winks
That was the rumor, anyway.
On the bench. That's where Winks would play.
Good night, Cody.
Good night, Cody. Good rest.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
Catch up with you later. All right.
I'm tired of this season. I'm ready to go to bed. Forget about it. You guys enjoy the conversation. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye.
Have you guys went over whether you would keep Bale or not? Have you guys went over that segment?
No, we haven't talked about that yet.
Well, whatever questions you want to go through, whatever.
My next one would be my next question that I'd like to pose to the panel is which three realistic players would you bring in? If we're going to ship three out, which three would you bring in?
That's a very good question.
Just thought that Levy is
No,
going to bring in
you're
3
saying
players. It's
realistic.
hilarious.
right?
I was saying that we need to get 3 to get 1. So if you want 3 to come in, we got to sell 9.
Okay with that.
Yo.
So,
I mean, we can sell 9. I'm okay with that too.
Realistic or just people you would love to be in the team? Realistic.
I mean, realistically, I
Okay,
mean, like,
let me
Okay,
I gotta
so
say
is
that.
this
Messi or
realistic?
Ronaldo or-
Is this
Realistically,
realistic?
we are looking
As in,
into the budget, the money that we have.
realistic if
And all
Daniel
that.
Levy wasn't our chairman.
oh, okay, but
Okay.
are we selling in this scenario? Are we selling
Yeah,
Kane and getting the money from that, or is it just through selling the Deadwood and then whatever money we have for transfer?
If you need to sell Kane, you can sell Kane. If you don't, you don't. Right? Like, say you're the director of football,
Going
Not
into
Daniel
this
Levy.
transfer window.
right?
Okay.
And what
So,
3
You
players
can
would
get
you
rid of
bring in?
Deadwood and bring in 3. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kane for
I
120 million.
This guy's doing
I'm
math.
gonna go. How much? Skriniar was what? Skriniar was valued at what? 67
35.
mil.
He's valued at, like, honestly, I would be surprised if Inter let him go for less than 80 million. His
No,
valuation. I've heard
read-
as
I've
high
read
as
an article.
90 million is what they're asking.
Yeah,
now.
I mean his value
So-
on like Sofa scores like 40 mil, but that's not what real value is.
No way.
That's not
No,
what
I've
Inter
read-
values
We
him
need-
at.
We
Yeah.
need 2 center backs and at least a right back, in my opinion. Those got to be the priority signings. Have to be.
I've read an article that like Inter is willing to let him go for like 55 mil because they're kind of short on cash. But it's an article, so it could be false. But
I don't think so. They have other center backs that they'd probably be more willing to move on before Skriniar at this point. He got back into the starting lineup and dominated the second half of the season, and they just won the title with him in the starting
His problem
lineup.
now is Conte, right? Is he going to stay or is he going to go?
I'd like Ben White.
Oh, defenders.
Ben White from Brighton?
Yeah,
He's a
good player.
he's a good center, and he's young too.
And he's also homegrown. Don't pull that face. Look at his stats. He's a decent fucking
I just
player.
think there are better options.
And he's a
Yeah.
proven player and all.
Good shout for the homegrown, though. Yeah, that's true. He is, he is pretty good for.
And he's
It's
he's a legit player.
But we can use our youth squad to fill in the homegrown slots. The problem is,
Not in defense.
even if he's legit, you're still paying a premium because he's English and you're moving within the Premier League. That's the
But
problem.
how much would he realistically cost though? That's the thing.
I don't think you're going to pay a ridiculous. But I
that's
think
what I'm
It's
saying.
not going to
White
be
is a
super high,
solid-
but it's still high relative to a
I-
foreign player of the same quality or even better. That's the problem.
Yeah, but why does everybody think foreign players are better?
Oh, I didn't say that foreign player. No, what I said is that you will pay more for an English player playing in the Premier League of the same quality or better than
Right,
you would
but
for
here's
a foreign player.
the gist of the solution, or here's my gist of this. He's already Prem proven.
Exactly.
You could go and buy someone and wait a fucking year and a half for him to get up to speed, I guess. But no, thanks.
Or we could
He's
get
a
somebody
legit
who's
good player.
Or we could get somebody who will pay a fair transfer rate for, who is also Prem proven, but might not be homegrown. Somebody like Joachim Anderson,
That's what I have in my. I wrote him on my notepad here.
How about a player like?
Because we can't do another young center back. We already have Rodin. Tanganga, whether he's a right back or a center back. No, we need somebody who's going to come in and start right away, and not just start, but take control, be a leader in the back line. That's what we need. We can't just bring in some 22-year-old kid, even if he has Premier League experience, because we need somebody who's going to step in like he's already been playing at Tottenham for the last 3 seasons.
Center back, Tyrone Mings, homegrown.
No.
Well, how about a player like Lewis Dunk? He's
I'd rather the other Aston Villa defender, Konza, but the 3 I would choose is Anderson, because we need a centre-back desperately, Max Aarons, and the person I really want, I think he's gettable because they're not having a great season, and it would sort out our dead pieces and everything, is James Ward-Prowse.
Oh, yeah, that's a good shout.
I think James Ward-Prowse would come in. He would come in and do so well for us. I mean, set pieces, he's probably the best in the Premier League.
We really need somebody to do this.
Do you know what?
We need somebody to take our free kicks.
Madison from Leicester.
Do you know what, Jay? Madison won't come. He hates Tottenham with a passion.
I know,
He was
but
supposed to come, right?
he's the
You guys
sort
see
of
those
player
tweets?
we need.
We were linked to him earlier.
I don't like Madison to be.
Why get Madison when you can just get Jack Grealish?
No, Madison, he reminds me too much like Dele Alli. He's a type of player that'll go missing and he'll pop up with like a goal.
So listen. If you guys are set on,
I don't know. He
English
was
center
pulling the
back,
strings for Leicester today, though.
if you guys are set
but
on
they
an
subbed him off in like the
English
60th minute. I don't like.
Yeah, because he's coming back from an injury, bruv.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
Jack
he's
Grealish is
not
nowhere
fully
near
fit.
Dele Alli. He's way more proven than Dele Alli is.
I'm not
they're
comparing
talking
Dele
about
Alli. I'm
Madison.
for James Madison.
No, he's James Madison.
Oh, Madison.
Yeah, Madison.
Madison.
No,
I
Jack
like
Grealish levels.
If you guys were set on getting an English center back with prem experience, then who I would go out and get is James Tarkowski from Burnley. That's who I would go get because that's a guy who's going to step in. He's going to give solid performances week in, week out, and he's going to be a leader and command the back line. That's who I'd go get. I'm surprised that his name hasn't come up more because he's a solid center back.
His partnership is also really good. The Ben Mee is a solid center back, but
I could see Tarkowski and Rodin being a really good partnership.
the center back I love that a lot of people don't really like. I love Johnny Evans. I think Johnny Evans is a really
Isn't
good
he
center
like
back.
30 years old though?
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, he
It
still
does
does the job. He does the job though.
What about
Listen, hear me out. He was killing it when he had Harry Maguire with him. He turned Harry Maguire into a top center back, and then they sold him for 80 mil. And then the next year they got Söyüncü from Stuttgart, and then he turned Söyüncü. He made him look a lot better. He was linked with Man City for like 50 mil. He just stabilizes the back line. You see how shit they play when Johnny Evans is not there. Johnny Evans was not playing today.
Yeah.
He was not playing last game. And the game against that they lost like 3-0 to like Crystal Palace, like 2 games ago, whatever, where like Söyüncü made a mistake, and then the Belgian fullback that they play as center back. What's the guy? Sorry? Castagna, yeah, Castagna made a mistake. Like they just look all over the place when Johnny Evans is not. I'm telling you, Johnny Evans is a sleeper. A lot of people don't really look at him because he's not a fancy name. But if you need a leader at the back, if you need somebody to kind of control the back line, he's a perfect
Actually,
name.
that's not a bad shout because experience, years of it, he's a leader, and another thing, he's homegrown, and another thing, you said he's a winner too. Yeah, he's got trophies in the cabinet. Another thing, he's left-footed, isn't he? I'm pretty sure Johnny Evans is left-footed.
What about Söyüncü?
We don't have a left-footed.
I love him.
Yeah, Söyüncü's
great
great. He's
today.
going to go for like 50 mil though.
If you guys
Yeah,
want
he's too expensive, I think.
guys, if you want a left-footed center back, trust me, take Botman.
Right now he's at 40 million euro. Is what his transfer market value is.
Listen, you got to remember as well.
And he's Turkish. He's not English. So.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. But you know what it is? We're talking realistically, and no one
Only
in their
2 years
right
on
mind is
contract.
leaving Leicester to come to Tottenham. No one is leaving Leicester to
And
come
as
to
for
Tottenham.
Botman's only like 21, right?
Shout.
He's 21.
But not homegrown.
We need a leader. We need somebody with experience.
Yeah, Söyüncü's 25.
That's
But
what
you have-
Joachim Anderson has, though. He is definitely a leader.
But we
So,
have
so in that case, if you want Botman, you have to bring in Anderson too.
no.
or,
I'm sorry,
or
but
Tarkowski or somebody.
at least we have Toby. Like we don't necessarily need.
Toby's
a
not a
leader.
leader, though. If he was a
Yes.
leader, he would have whipped these other
Even-
center backs into shape.
Even Roldan is a
But
leader.
Toby's
Even
Roldan
Roldan is
might
a
not be
leader.
here next
How many
season.
leaders can you have on a pitch at one time?
What about how about this? What about
Unless
Vertonghen
was the leader. Vertonghen was
Give me
the
11.
president.
Sanchez plus 30 million for Söyüncü?
100%.
They won't take it.
And they would probably take it.
Everyone should take that. That is you have to take that deal.
What would Leicester take? They just skinned Sanchez all game today. Why
Kieran-
would they
Pay him
go,
more than
let's
Leicester
get
does.
that guy?
Kieran, the thing is, they could take it, but Söyüncü can very easily just say no,
No thanks.
Yeah.
and that's the deal done. That's the
We
deal
can pay
done.
him more than Leicester does, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if we could.
Like, I genuinely, I know we're not going to get him, but I do like Ben White. But I think realistically, I think Anderson fits the bill, and he's
We-
gettable.
We wanted Anderson to Sampdoria, but we all know what happened there once again.
But he's
it's-
gettable.
Oh, he's getting. No, of course. And, the French teams are crying out for money. They are. This has got
Right.
Levy written all over it.
Nobody watches football in France anymore. They're all watching rugby now. So.
But Brian is going
Lille won the League 1, right?
Yeah, Lille, yeah, they won the.
Welcome to the show.
It's going to be a
That
pain.
means
It's going to
So
be
who are we getting up front? We're
That's
all
gonna be a-
picking these three
that's gonna-
players.
that's gonna
We're
put
going to
pressure
need a
on Poch.
striker.
So Danny the Bun has now got me.
I disagree.
I don't know.
Tarkowski's a solid player.
That means
I
they're
don't-
very good.
I haven't seen a lot of this guy, but this Daka guy is looking from what Danny has been
That's
speaking
Daka,
very,
yeah.
very,
Yeah, from his
very,
highlights-
very
highlights
highly
are
about him.
amazing, I can't even lie. His highlights are great.
Well, from what I've heard, he impresses me, and it's worth a shout.
Honestly, I feel like you can trust most players coming up through the Red Bull setup. I mean, it's probably the best recruiting and development setup right now in the world. So it's right up there with Ajax. So
yeah.
But he said he won't join if Kane is still here.
Well, Kane won't be here.
Kane won't be here, though. I feel like that's a given at this point.
But if Kane leaves, I have a striker in mind, the Florentina striker. Vlasovic.
What's his name?
I wouldn't mind Tony to be the
Vlahovic
backup
or something
striker.
like
for Kane.
Vlasovic, this guy is a killer. He is a killer, a Serbian real killer.
It's a good shout.
How about that? The Napoli, the Nigerian striker. Wasn't he Victor Osimhen or whatever?
Yeah, like too much money. It's too much money.
Too much money. You feel like he's too much?
Yeah, he's too much.
I mean, all I know is what we should do is all root for Swansea to win next weekend, so we can go get Ivan Toney from Brentford, because that would be
Yeah,
that would be
Tony would be a
the guy,
good one.
I think.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good.
And it's homegrown.
Yeah, Tony, and then you got Scarlett coming up behind him.
Tony's
Maybe
great.
next season
I
we
love
sell
Tony.
Kane.
I'd sign him in a minute.
I'll be honest, if I had my way, I'd be loaning Scarlett out next season, personally. I think he needs to start playing.
You know who we need to sell? Jack Clark.
Oh, big time.
Oh.
Oof. Yes.
Because
What did we buy him anyway?
If we don't sell Jack Clark now, he's going to end up like Jesse Lingard, 26-year-old prospect. It's just, it's not working out. We got to move him on.
Send him to West Ham so he can shine.
But Jay, it's interesting you say that about Scarlett.
Shine in the Europa League while we're playing in the Banter Cup.
With Scarlett, when you say putting him on loan, Jay, do you loan him out to a championship team or do you loan him out to a Premiership team? Because I believe that guy, and I've said it, is Michael Owen.
I'd lend him to a Premiership team.
Yeah, I think he's literally Michael Owen.
He's too young. He's a little bit too young to play in the Premiership.
He's not.
You say that when you look at it, when Michael Owen came through, he was this age, but he had a Robbie Fowler to back him up. When Rooney was coming through United, he had a Van Nistelrooy. He had with Scarlett, if Kane stays, and I don't think he does for one more season, I personally would keep him so he can just work religiously under Kane for a season. If Kane goes, then I'm inclined to say what Jason says and send him out on loan because he needs a striker.
He needs to play man's football.
What about Matthias?
Send him to Southampton. Let him play under Danny Ings next season.
Perfect example.
Good shout.
Under Hasenhüttl too, a good attacking manager.
Do you know what, Kieran? That's how we get James Ward-Prowse. Just like Terry Wright said, you know what? We'll give you X amount of money. We'll give you X amount of money and Scarlett free. Do you know what? Terry pulled a blind with Aaron. We're ripping England apart with all these young quality players.
Listen,
that's a great job.
We need to get Levy out, and just the three of us need to run the transfers from now on.
That's a great shout.
Someone said Matthias Ginter.
Yeah, Matthias Ginter. What do you guys think about Matthias Ginter?
I don't know a lot about him.
I've never heard of him.
Plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh, I've heard his name mentioned, but I really don't know anything about
I've
him.
been linked with him for a while now. I've sort of been linked with him for like 2-3 years
27.
now.
Is it the center back?
Yeah, the center back.
Yeah, my friend watches.
We haven't had a German player since Lewis Holtby, have we?
Bloody hell.
Stefan
Freud.
Freud.
The
I
last
remember
German
him.
player we
I remember
had.
Stefan Freud.
Albeit.
Yeah, my friend watches Bundesliga. He told me he's not good. He's not good.
Oh,
I told him he's not ready now.
Oh, damn.
I mean,
How about his partner? I
plays
heard he has
in
a-
week in, week out. 100. He's got 100, almost
Yeah, but
100% playing time.
Yeah, but Gladbach is not like Tottenham. It's not a big. It's gonna be a big step for him. Like he's not ready.
Man, Gladbach's in the Champions League, though. I mean, like.
Yeah, but
They're big.
Yeah, but like the
top 4 side.
But a center back in the
They were leading at one
center
time.
back in the Premier League, it is a big difference.
And he's a bit older. He's a World Cup winner.
Haaland and Sancho from Dortmund. He has to play against Lewandowski and Muller from Bayern. I feel like
he's a German international. He's won the World Cup. He's won the German Cup. He's won Confederations Cup. He's won Super Cup.
Honestly, I wouldn't waste the
Get
money
him in.
for him.
Anything's better than.
I heard there's one young center back from what's it Wolfsburg.
Better than
Do you know anything about?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Is he a top? Like, do you think he's actually worth it? I don't really know much about him.
I wouldn't say he's worth it, but like if you buy him, like it's not the moment to buy him, in my opinion. It's not the moment. Because you already know, like, Levy's gonna, like, he's a cheap ass, so...
I mean, Sergio Ramos is on the free this year, right?
Yeah, he will.
I mean, he's on the free. I think his contract's expiring this year.
Yeah, but that would be sick. Even Varane, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd be surprised if Ramos leaves Spain.
If we still have Mourinho, those two are a possibility.
Yeah,
they're not.
Maybe he goes to Roma. There you go.
Kieran, you and me are on the same train, mate. We are on the same train of thought. I just can't see it. I mean, this why it goes to show how important it is that this manager is done ASAP. Yeah. We can all talk and say, yeah, we want this, we want that. Until that manager is in, it doesn't matter who we link with, because if we start going for players before the manager comes in, it's just pointless again.
Yep.
Well, this manager needs to come in, and it needs to not be Graham Potter or Scotty Parker, because they're not going to help us attract players at all. So,
exactly. Why do you think Kane is leaving?
that basically leaves Ten Hag and Allegri for big games.
But do you know how bad of shambles our backline is? We only have one defender valued over 25 million euros.
Who's that? Davinson Sanchez?
I'm surprised.
What's Joe Rodon valued at, Will, when you're looking at that thing?
Joe Rodon less than 15.
Because we got him for 13, right, or 12.
I legit think he's gonna turn out good.
Jay, I'm completely with you. I think he's literally in spirit and determination. He's Michael Dawson.
But what is Mason's problem with?
He's also good on the ball, though.
He really has good.
Very good on the ball.
Very technical. Very technical.
And for his height, he's actually fast. For his height.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. His speed is very underrated. Remember that? I mean, granted, it was against part-timers, but that recovery run he made against Marine. I mean, that was like a 40-yard sprint, then a wrapping slide tackle to win the ball.
He's valued at 10 million right now.
Yeah, that was against Marine.
But I don't know why.
No, he did it in the Premier League as well.
I know, but if he's going to put that effort in against Marine, imagine to put the effort against like a top five club, top 4. I mean, he that we need to hold on to him. I think we all agree.
Yeah. No, Rodon, we have to keep him.
He's a solid player. He could be something special.
But
you got to remember,
Rodon, we can keep on to him.
You got to remember as well, if Potter comes in, Potter's the one that saw him in the youth at Swansea. Potter's the one that started bringing him through. So if it's him, I would imagine he'll go straight in. I want, as we look at the squad right now, I personally see Rodon as the number 1 central defender, like the first central defender in the team sheet. And you now look for a partner to help guide him through. Because listen, he's a youngster and he's made some mistakes against Liverpool, against Chelsea on his debut. But you learn from these mistakes.
It's normal, yeah.
Exactly.
You need to have mistakes to learn from it.
Very normal.
Anderson would be good for that.
It'd be fantastic.
His pace would make up for Anderson's lack of pace. They're both good on the ball. Like it's
perfect.
It would work.
I honestly feel like
unfortunately I can't, because if I do footage I'll get hit. Just ask Brian, he knows.
We should play like Tanganga and Rodon, for example. Anderson in a back
who's that there, Will?
I've actually seen some Kang In Lee. He's not bad. He's not a bad player.
Kung Jin.
What team does he play for?
Valencia.
Also, talking about defenders, Will, you'll know better. What happened to the Korean defender, that monster, that tank
Kim
that we were linked with?
Mhm.
There we go.
Min-jae.
Is that who we were just talking about?
No, a different guy.
Okay,
Lee
okay.
Kang-jin's attacker, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, can you pronounce
He's a number 10.
J or something like that. Forget his
Yeah, I
name.
mean, he
Min-jae.
looks a monster, but like I said, anyone can look like a monster in YouTube videos.
I'm
when they
telling
just
you,
put it
wouldn't be
together.
bad, and he's gonna work his butt off.
Well, this is the thing as well. What you got to look at it as well is the reason I say him is if we do lose Sun, obviously we're going to lose a fuckload of the Korean and Far East market. So bringing in someone like him will just kind of or not.
He's young,
Sun's a
though.
much bigger star, obviously, but it will capture some of that market. He looks like a
yeah.
talent.
Contain some of
He
the
looks
market.
like a talent.
Isn't
Yeah,
Son
but surely the
from the
Levy out
national
in
team?
you wants us to not get him so that we do lose that revenue, so that like Enoch.
Oh yeah, trust me, Jay. I believe me. I'm completely with you on that. I want us to get like I said, and Abdul, I've left you my cell number in the private chat because I know you're here in Toronto, and Dietrich knows this. Tottenham away because I can't go through Tottenham official on the board. And I spoke to Jay about it. Jay's going to pitch in where he can. We're actually going to be the international fans that start doing stuff and protesting during the summer. We don't know how or what yet. We're brainstorming. So, Abdul, my number's there if you're interested in joining us, or anyone that can get to Toronto. I've got no problem giving my cell number out or Twitter handles because the international fans have got a big responsibility this summer. A big responsibility.
I say we sign Marcelo simply so that we can have Marcelo and Marcelo.
Well, I'm looking forward to being there for the NFL protests, which I will be there. I'll be back home for that, and that's when I'm going to go absolutely mental. I think the Irish Yid is going to come over. Thank you, Spurs
Thank you,
squad. So yeah, I mean that's what we've got to do this summer, and those times we have got to target the sponsors and all the kind of revenue that comes in. So just
It's Leipzig, right?
How many NFL games are there coming up?
there's two games in London. There's on the 17th, on the 10th and the 17th.
September.
October.
October. Okay.
So October the 10th, it's the Jets versus the Falcons, and then and the ironic thing is my wife's coming with me, and she's a Jets fan, and she's always wanted to see the Jets, but in
My
Toronto.
condolences to your wife.
Oh, big time.
My
And
condolences.
she only supports the Jets because she hates her father, and her father's a Giants fan. So that's why.
Okay.
So that's
I
why she's a
understand.
Jets fan. But yeah, she obviously, if I could have got a ticket to go to an NFL game, she's like, "Oh my god, the Jets are there," and I was like, "We're not going in. We're not going in. Do not even think about it." But yeah, I'm going to be there for that. I've got to. I can't have kept giving my Levy out the whole time, and when I've got an opportunity to get there, not go there. But yeah, internationally, we have a lot to do this summer.
If we manage to block the games,
I would kill to be up there with the protests in Toronto, but I don't think I'm West Coast. I'm in LA, so, and I'm just a college student. So I would really love to come out there and protest you guys, but I don't think I will. But
We'll be going live, so you can have your say. We'll video call you or something.
I would love to. I know.
When you plan that, you do the stream. Link up with the Asian side, then we can get something going.
Oh, big time. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we plan. I mean, we're going to look into if Nike have an HQ or the biggest Nike store in Toronto, or just general things like that. We're going to be relentless this summer.
Go on.
Yeah.
Let them hear it.
Keep
Let
it
them hear
up.
it. 'Cause we need some change in this club quickly. Because this could be. I think it was Cody. I remember saying on we were talking TV channel. I think he was saying something that kind of hit me. He says, as big as the stadium we have, we are not as big to see what happened to Leeds or something like that. A complete disaster, huge club. I mean, we could be there. We're not that big for that to not happen, and we got to be super, super careful in the next 2-3 years because the recruitment that it's going to be in the next few years, next few summers, transfer windows, it's going to be hard to convince someone to come play for us. So
you see the
let them hear the shouts, get all the chants going. I'll be supporting you guys from the West Coast. Maybe I don't know, something can be organized over here. I don't know if you guys have any connections over here on the West Coast, but I'm with you guys 100%. Everyone should be too.
Yeah, LA has a big supporters group, but I don't know. Like, that's the hard thing here, Brian, in America. Like, you're lucky that your supporters group is on the same page with you, because I literally just posted that video that you and Cody did, which wasn't even that like risque, and I got like 3 likes out of 800 people, and one guy posted a meme saying "fuck out of here." So,
well, Joe, what it is, Cody? I wanted to do this. I started because I'm on the board of the official Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Club for Toronto. I kind of mentioned it. Now, there's loads of people that I'm on the board, so when I spoke to the board people, obviously and I understand why they don't want to cut ties, because when people come over, we can get tickets through them, and I understand that officially. But we have a lot of fans that watch Tottenham away, that watch your channel. Like the comment just before with Jake was the Jake that you saw on Tottenham on the Two Brians show on Friday when you came on. He's in, and I've got a lot of the Toronto Spurs fans that are ready to do this, but obviously, thankfully, we're going to do it under Tottenham away as opposed to Toronto Spurs. Oh, mate,
why
BJ is
coming in
trending.
as Andre Gonzalez?
No, I think Andre is saying Jake from Toronto Spurs said this, which he did. He did mention Duncan Anderson, because he's obsessed with Brighton. His good old Jake for some reason, and it's a good shout, Lewis Dunk. It's a good shout.
Go ahead, Brian. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a good shout, Anderson and Dunk. Like he was saying, Dunk puts his body on the line like a Dawson did, and I think you got to remember as well, he is actually Brighton born and bred.
What about going after some Spanish players, because the Spanish league is hurting for cash right now, like bad.
But that's the homegrown thing again. You see, can we meet the quotas? We had to get rid of a lot of dead wood. A lot of
the monster center backs right now, and they're valued high that you could probably get on a little bit cheaper than what their value is.
That's the thing. Most of the deadwood we have to get rid of,
like honestly,
actually aren't homegrown.
Yeah, exactly. If you remove Aurier, then you have one space. If you remove Sanchez, like there's so many places
Dyer, he's not homegrown.
Dyer too. Sissoko needs to go. Like there's
Ben Davis isn't homegrown.
too.
Exactly.
Like there's a lot of non-homegrown dross.
And
Will's favourite player isn't homegrown.
Yeah. Only Winks and Dele are the only dross that's homegrown.
Right.
Even Tanganga is homegrown. Like we have players. We just need to remove the dead wood. That's it.
The non-homegrown's dead wood. Yeah.
Brian, I have a question.
Some unhomegrown.
Far away.
Brian, do we have a support group for Canada or we don't?
Well, the Tottenham Hotspur. So basically, when I first moved to Canada in 2017, Spurs was Spurs Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is, not only were we growing quite quickly, because Spurs are growing at a rate I'd never imagined here. Like, I didn't even realize how big we were when I first got here. But then what happened is, when we were trying to do like end of season parties or Christmas or giveaways and stuff with the community, obviously trying to arrange meetings because of the time differences and how vast this country is. And then this person had this idea, and then that person had that idea, and there was so much. It became so political. We went forward. A lot of people at Spurs, which is now Spurs Toronto, said, "Listen, it's all good to be under this one umbrella, but it's too big. We need to break this into the provinces." So I think we did that the year after the Champions League.
Okay.
So there's now Spurs Toronto. There is a Spurs Ottawa.
Really?
There is a Spurs Vancouver.
I don't even know.
Brian, is there a Facebook group or something where all of the official supporter clubs internationally can communicate? Because I know that our co-founder, Rolf Jones, was on with Chris Calvin not too long ago. And he was talking about how LA Spurs got founded. And if I'm sure he would be up to maybe at least hearing you out about some sort of protest here in LA.
So one of the things we did, especially as Tottenham away, being on the official board, I've got all the email addresses for the official fan clubs around the world. But as respect to a whole group, kind of like a network where the board all talk to each other, there's nothing. And I think right now that would be it'd be like the supporters trusting the board and the fans. It'd be the biggest shit show.
Right. Have you got the list for the ones in the Asia side? Can you just send it to me?
I'll look into it tomorrow morning when I
yeah.
get up, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. So
I
then
know-
at least I can get in touch with the people on the Asian side, because you know what I'm doing here on this side, right? Yeah.
Yep, I can get that to you.
Yeah.
So we were having a few Levy out chants today in the bar this morning. And
Oh,
I
to
just
be in the
know
bar.
I just know that finally, I just know that I know there's a couple officials. LA, I think San Diego has one. I know a West Coast protest could be possible. Now I'm just, I'm not in the board. I just joined the LA Spurs about 5 years ago, and but I know they would be interested. But I guess there's no official communication between the official.
Well, you're
So, Ian, you saw in the private chat. There's my number. Get in touch with your board people.
Okay.
Because obviously it's easy, and then say, listen, this is a guy from Spurs Toronto. He's on the board. You can catch him on Will Show, my channel, and everything, and get in touch with us. And then we will try to, if we can try and make this a North American thing. Brian Ireland and I have said, I think it was after the Villa game, we're like, this can't go on anymore. We've got to understand that the people that went to London done a terrific job. The people that actually went to the stadium and did what they did a terrific job. You've got people like Holly and Bob Spur who travelled hours and hours to get there, and there were people that would say they were going, and they didn't. And it realised that yes, they've started it, and yes, there was progression, but we keep going on about the 180 million fans worldwide. Well, it's time we help them, because the people at home aren't helping them. So yeah, give my number to your guy,
okay,
and I'm more than happy to get in contact, and we can liaise and start doing stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And I'm not saying you or anyone else in particular, but a universal communication between the official, international. I guess maybe just North America is what I mean. I guess it'd be kind of crazy worldwide. I mean, that'd be a lot of information in one spot. But for there to be some sort of communication would be fantastic with all the.
So we're already talking to New York Spurs because we have a connection there.
Perfect.
We're also talking to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Spurs are massive. And last year, I can't remember what game. Oh no, I do remember. It was Jose's first game when we beat West Ham.
How big is massive?
Massive is approaching the thousands, or over 1,000.
There's 852 people in the North Carolina Spurs Facebook group.
North
So there you go.
You have to be
Well,
approved.
Minnesota Spurs is huge. Austin Spurs, they're all big.
But
old
North
Spurs.
Carolina Spurs is not on board with the Enoch Out movement.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be
that's
honest
what
with you.
I
There's
was
only
gonna
one.
say, too.
There's only
Is that
one
you two-
person from North Carolina. Like I've posted 2 or 3. I don't want to spam in their Facebook group. Like I've gone to meetups and I've done that, but I don't want to spam in their Facebook group.
Of course.
I've posted 3 videos in there, and one person has sent me a message. I think he was on the show earlier, Austin. One guy.
So yeah, that's what I was going to say too. You guys are lucky that your supporters groups are on board, because, I mean, so I'm kind of in a weird position where I'm like between two. So the closest two to me would be DC Spurs and Richmond Spurs. I've attended them both at different times, but I'm about an hour's drive from DC and about 2 hours from Richmond. So it's kind of hard for me to get there often for either, especially for the early morning games.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's kicking off at noon in the UK, it's like 7 a.m. So that's me getting up and getting on the road at like 4, 5, 6 a.m. But yeah, I mean, from what I can tell from the Facebook, obviously I haven't been in person. I just recently got vaccinated, so I haven't been back in person yet. But from the Facebook page, DC Spurs has 1.8 thousand members. I haven't seen anything Levy out. And one of the things, I was just looking at it earlier today, and I saw Dele's statement that he put on Instagram, and there was one comment underneath that said, Dele is class. Harry could learn something from him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gotta be a troll.
So,
That's gotta
like,
be a troll.
I'm going to start posting Levy out, Enoch out propaganda in there and see what happens. Because hopefully that's not the mentality of most people. But
what I ought to do is post, Brian, when you guys do your protest, if you have a banner, I will post that in the North Carolina Facebook group and see what kind of reaction I get, because then I'll definitely know whether people are supporting it or not. Like saying, hey, this is what Toronto's doing. Should we do something like this? You know, question mark.
So the thing we need to do, because when it gets, well, do me a favor. I've just commented with my Twitter handle. Can you just put it up there? So the guy who just said about Austin and all the other places, there's my Twitter handle, which I've just put in the chat. Message me, and we can start doing things to try and get people on board. But the thing is, as you were all saying, lucky for Toronto. So when I first came here, I was always spouting Levy out. And when I was on the board, the actual North American fans, a lot of them were saying, Brian, you've come from London. You're meant to show us passion and dedication and support for the team. You're always so anti-Levy. This is not right. You need to be positive and show us the history. I was like, no. I'm going to quote it. If it's wrong, I'm going to say it. It's not my job to try and make you happy. It's my job to try and say, listen, I've been very, very close to this, and this is how I feel. This is what's been happening, and everything I have quoted has happened. And through dribs and drabs, since we let go of Pochettino, every single time it's got a little bit more when he's done something wrong, or we haven't bought a player, or we had this opportunity and we didn't take it. But since the ESL, Daniel Levy's just been making my life a hell of a lot easier. A hell of a lot easier, because he just keeps it. And now Toronto Spurs, a hell of a lot of them. This is enough. And they keep linking it. And Abdul, you'll be able to answer more about this. They say, like with the Toronto Maple Leafs, how we've got the money, we just don't spend it correctly for the good of the team. Now, obviously, I don't know. Obviously, I can see the comparison. The Maple Leafs. I mean, hockey
Always
here is
joking.
like, yeah, exactly. But the hockey out here is like, Jay, you must have seen when you first came out here. Hockey is like, oh my good God. It's like we know football.
The Leafs
It's like
religion.
Yeah. The
Leafs
Leafs are
suck.
very Spursy. They seem to joke a lot. In the playoffs.
Exactly. So, like I said, if my Twitter handle's in the chat, just message me if you guys are from anywhere you want to get involved or be a part of it, or want me to speak to your official fan club or whatever. I'm more than happy to do all of that, because it's like I said, and hopefully, Abdul, you'll be helping us with it as well, and you'll come and join us or play a part. It's like, and obviously once our pubs, please God, open. Our local pub is the Scotland Yard, which is downtown, which is an absolutely unbelievable pub. Tottenham through and through, and we're going to be doing stuff through there as well. We're not letting go.
Yeah, how do I find out?
I wish you did, Jay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do I find out like the location and like, is it like on the Facebook group or something, or like if I want to pop up there one game, how do I?
Well, for the Toronto Spurs, yeah, you just go. I'll tell you what, I'm the admin for Toronto Spurs. If you're on Facebook, just go to Toronto Spurs. The picture is the brand new stadium, and then you'll see a puddle where it's reflected in the puddle. Just go into there, ask a couple of questions. Don't even bother answering the question. Just let me know when you've done it, and I'll accept you straight away.
Okay, bad. Okay, perfect.
And that'll be done. So yeah.
Yeah, hopefully next year, things will be open. It'll be more open, right? So we can actually go to because I've never actually been to like a pub. Obviously, I can't drink and all, but like, it's cool.
It's, mate, put it this way, I don't drink now. I'm an alcoholic, so I just sit there and have either alcohol freeze or I have refillable Cokes and spend the whole day there, mate. We normally get anywhere between 80 to 300 people per game. Even the 7 o'clock kickoff, we get a good crowd. And like I said, we had Steve Nash come and open it when we became official Toronto Spurs, the basketball player. He's been down to the pub, and he was going to come down and watch a couple of games this season, but obviously COVID. Paul Stalteri's part of it. I'm talking to Paul Stalteri, or I'm trying to reach Paul Stalteri to see if he can come on Tottenham away, and hopefully onto Will Show as well if I can get him. So yeah, we're not letting go.
Yeah, perfect.
Stalteri lives in Toronto?
He does indeed.
That's cool.
He does indeed. So yes.
And he's a Spurs fan.
Well, he is now. I mean, obviously, he'll go down as a Tottenham legend for one goal and one goal only.
Yeah.
Jay, were you still in England when that goal was scored?
Yes.
Oh, that game! I couldn't get to that game, but I was going mad. And he'll always go down in Tottenham history because of that. Always. I think he's the only Canadian we've had at Tottenham.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What's his name again? What is his
Phil
name?
Stalteri. Paul. Yes, sorry, Paul Stalteri. Had an engine like no other. Literally up and down,
He
and down.
was fit as hell.
Oh, He was a machine. He was a Terminator.
Yes, I'm from Malaysia. Shane.
He really was. So now, what I guarantee there's going to be breaking news tomorrow with Tottenham, because there will be now, whether it be stupid rumours about Kane or the manager. What do we reckon that the breaking news is going to be tomorrow?
Manager.
We've shortened down the list to 7. It's going to be something like that.
100% going to be like Kane's going to Man City and they're offering us 60 mil plus these 3 players or some bullshit like that. I tell you, that room.
So Jay, you say that as well. One of the things I saw, I always stupidly look at the BBC gossip column every single day and the Sky Paper Talk, and apparently, according to the Sunday Star, which Jay, you'll know how reliable that is, it actually said that apparently Guardiola actually made the first move for Kane in January, and apparently this is what started all of this. Apparently they did make an inquiry to say, is Kane available? And obviously that's got through to him, whether that's true or not. But that's what they're saying, which kind of makes sense now.
I mean, I can see it being true. Like, I mean, and look, do I blame them for asking? No. Like, it's just the nature of it. But when you've got the world's best at something, people are going to want them.
Big up, Joe.
That's just the nature of the beast.
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, listen, if they do want him and he's going to go, rinse them. Absolutely rinse them. You know, I mean, they've got some spare defenders. Maybe we can nab a couple of them in the deal as well.
Yeah, let's take Laporte.
Right?
Jason, I agree with you, but like I don't trust Levy with big money. I honestly think we should do swaps deal. Because I know he's going to take that money and pay the loan.
Well,
who would you want?
I don't think Klinsmann signed with anybody. He's still just being a pundit on ESPN.
Who would you want if we were going to swap with City for Kane? Who would you want from City?
Actually,
do you know the young striker that looks like De Bruyne? Like the young striker? Yeah, this guy is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Remember
his dad, Rory Delap, man, as a thrower?
This guy is going to be the next Harry Kane.
That's a bold statement.
Trust me.
There's only one Harry Kane.
He's killing it, but
there's only one.
He's going to be the next Harry Kane. Remember.
I don't know about that. He'll probably be the next Gabriel Jesus or something.
No.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
I could do a lot better job than Steve, though. You should sack Steve and hire me. Sorry, Steve.
Mate, can you imagine if it was actually them? Can you imagine if you did actually have Steve Hitchin and Joe Lewis? Can you imagine if it was actually them? That would be phenomenal.
Honestly, I would love to watch a fight between Brian and Levy, a boxing fight.
But you know what? Honestly, I've said it before. So we have this thing back home every other year. Once it's comic relief and once it's sport relief, and it's just basically a 24-hour, not 24-hour, 12-hour fundraiser, and they do things like that, celebrity boxing matches for charity. Like, mate, I would pay as much money as I could. I would put I would ask my parents for every single penny they own, put their house up for sale, just so I could have that fight.
Honestly, I don't even think it would be a fight. I feel like Brian's got a decade of pent-up rage, and as soon as that bell goes, he just let it all out in just one punch, just one haymaker with all of his hate wrapped up inside it.
It's 2 decades.
Levy would just be erased from this plane of existence.
I'll be Brad Pitt from Snatch. I'll be the gypsy boxer. Just knock him out in one punch.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brian did like Mike Tyson, like bite Levy's ear off.
Yeah,
that would be the hors d'oeuvre. Absolutely, that would be the hors d'oeuvre, mate. It'd be like Silence of the Lambs if I got near him.
You eat his brains.
Yeah, you'll peel off his skin, and you'll be Daniel Levy, and then you can run the club.
That's why I shaved my hair. That's why I shaved my hair and put my glasses on, because I want to kind of be his doppelganger and go to London and just try and get through security, just chuck him out of the building, and go, how much is that you wanted? 100 million. Oh, there you go.
Got it.
We'll find
Brian, you
Brian
better
out
be
in some country house with Daniel Levin up in a hole in the ground, and he'll be like screaming down there. It puts the lotion on.
Brian, you gotta be careful, man. Or next time you go home, you'll go through the terminal at Heathrow, and they'll stop you to inform you that a protective order has been taken out of you.
Kieran, I've got to tell you something. I actually start having a complex now that if I'm ever back in England, and you know, like when Ferguson got rushed to hospital and thank God he was all right, I'm actually petrified that if Daniel Levy ever did something and he got rushed to hospital, it broke on Sky Sports News, and I was in England, my phone would blow up, and I'd have to get on a plane to Canada very, very quickly because I'd be prime suspect number one, and good reason. Good reason. I'd need a good lawyer.
Oh, I love it, man.
Did you guys see that recent interview that Gary Neville did with Sir Alex Ferguson? And they asked him like, who young player you thought you would want to manage or be like a prospect? And he goes, I thought Dele Alli was going to be one. I don't know what happened to him. And I was like, oh Christ, Spurs happened to him. What do you think happened to him?
Well, I mean, that tells you right there that Son's world class because the first two names out of his mouth were Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. So.
If Dele Alli played under Alex Ferguson, Dele Alli would be a world-class talent.
Yeah.
When he had the Beckhams, the Giggs, the Scholes, and the class of '92, the way that Alex Ferguson wouldn't let him get anywhere near the press or the media, he looked after them. He was like, "You're not getting." He would have looked after Ali and turned him into a genuine superstar.
Yeah. So Alex was the dictator in the dressing room. So I guess he will get all the control. Right. Discipline them, teach them how to be football players instead of celebrities.
He would do like Beckham. He would punch him in the face.
Yeah. Who kicked the boot and hit Beckham in the face?
Alex Ferguson.
Ferguson kicked
Ferguson, right? Yeah, he kicked the boot and hit Beckham in the face. And the next season, Beckham was gone.
Well, that's everybody smash your lips on that like button, as Jack Kanicki likes to say, and give the channel a subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're almost there, and the way we're moving up, like today, I think we've jumped up. I want to say like 25. So 1,000 shouldn't be impossible by May 31st if you do the math. So.
I have a curious question. I'm just curious. Do you guys think they're going to ever try and bring back the Super League?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You think it's ever, and that's one question. And then the other question is, what do you guys think about the new Champions League format in 2024?
Well, it's basically the Super League.
Yeah, Super League Light instead of 15 teams.
Super League Light.
It's 4 teams. Otherwise, the format's the same.
If they try and bring that Super League back, the one that we had, there would be some serious, like, I don't know, maybe a protest turned to a riot, because that is
everywhere but Tottenham.
Unforgivable. Yeah, you're right.
What I think might happen if they do try to bring it back is it might just end up being a continental thing where the English clubs might not be involved.
But Madrid and Barcelona still didn't leave the Super League.
Yeah.
Juventus hasn't either, I don't think.
Juventus,
the 3 teams that haven't left yet. Yeah.
Good. I don't give a fuck about them. They can stay there. They can stay in there. We're not a part of that.
No, the thing is that legally they are not out. They are not all out of it. Remember, all of the chairmen signed a legal contract in the Super League. Somehow or other, it's just been pushed aside, put on hold. It's like in cold storage, just waiting for it to come out again, waiting for the right time. So let's see what happens.
Prepare the documents to get out of it. You haven't gotten out yet. None of the English.
They're all preparing. They're all preparing the documents. Yeah.
And
it takes about a year to prepare those documents.
They're going to wait for the next time there's another major global economic downturn, and once that happens, they'll roll it out again.
Yeah, so they can use that as the excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like COVID was the excuse this time. So.
Oh. Right, look down.
Yep. So, but I will tell you now. I've said this as well. When I go back to London, if I see him, I'd love to knock him out. And the thing is, if I went to prison for it, and I went into prison, all the guys are, "What the fuck are you in here for?" I'm like, "I'm the guy that knocked out Levy." People will get down and bow to me. I'll be in the penthouse of prison. I would be royalty in the prison, so I've got no problem breaking the restraining order to do that. No problem whatsoever. And Aglio's got a good lawyer as well, she's told me. Her cousin's a banging lawyer, so I'm already covered. Look at the Spurs family work. I'm already covered.
Trust me, we'll bail you out. Or we'll...
Oh, exactly. Mate, the October plan is in motion.
Okay?
It's all in motion. The plan in October is all in motion. It's a go, go, go.
Maybe you'll get lucky and the judge or the banister or whatever will be a Tottenham fan.
Look, can you imagine? He just goes, "Listen, this is my verdict," and just pulls out an Enoch out banner. That's what's it. Oh, mate, I'm dreaming again. It's all good in my world.
All right, so who's the worst center back at the club?
Dyer. No, let me start. Dyer's the worst center back.
Yeah.
Oh
Here it
God,
comes.
no, not again.
Here it comes.
Not again.
It's a horror film.
E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
It makes me so uncomfortable every time. It never gets easier.
Moon boots.
Like you know your shit when you have to change position. Like you just know your shit. Like he's the perfect example of shit.
The only time
even know where the
that's
ball
not
is.
true is when like great players get old and have to change how they
Yeah,
play.
except that
like
like him.
Ronaldo or
Like-
Rooney or yeah.
How the hell does he make the England squad? Like how?
He's a money
Southgate.
Southgate.
Pochettino found a way to.
Alamanti always requests moon boots every time he comes on the stream.
Yeah.
Just in time for my fix.
And then Chillo says, Eric's ringing me now.
God.
Have you guys seen that interview? I guess it was more of just a conversation he had with Steve Kerr from the Golden State Warriors, Eric Dyer and Steve Kerr, the coach of the
No,
Warriors.
that's weird though.
Yeah,
That's weird. Why are they having? Okay.
I don't know. It was some promotional thing, but if you go on the Spurs official YouTube, it's on there somewhere. But God, I mean, just throughout the conversation, like it seemed like Kerr was just struggling to keep the conversation alive. Dyer, man, just like it's weird because you read all the time in like Ali Gold's articles, other people's articles that he's such an intelligent guy, he speaks multiple languages, but he came across as an absolute dolt in that one.
Bro,
I mean,
just look at his interview about like he wants to bury himself at Tottenham. Like how dumb can you be, bro? Like how?
Spread his ashes, not bury. If you bury him there, gosh, his ghost is going to be there forever.
How much do you think you can get?
And every
for-
center back we have will be
Honestly,
possessed by
I would-
him. No.
Abdul, I would donate him. I swear I would donate this guy. He's not good, bro. He's not good.
But you know what else it is? It's also time for our weekly and or nightly or streamly. I guess, is that a word? Streamly? It's not nightly, but streamly.
Oh, come on.
Ben Davies. Testimonial. You will be here for 10 years. You'll be 10 years of shit.
Imagine Ben Davies' testimony, all the shit players come out. We get all the worst players to play in the testimonial. All the shit
That's
players
right,
of Tottenham and all the shit players of the world.
Throughout the years.
yeah.
He's not going to get a testimony. Him getting
There'd be a lot of
testimony, like,
competition
Bill Jones
to
getting
get
a
into
testimony.
that 11 of players to play in that testimonial game. Like, there's a lot of competition for shit players who have played at Tottenham over, especially like the last 20 years. Like, damn.
Yeah, we'll get all the really shit players to play for him. And the scoreline will be we'll call 15-7, 15-7 or something like that.
The sad thing is how many of the. Oh god!
I remember when we first bought Sheringham.
Oh,
because no, bear with me.
It was a great time.
It was, but he was such a one-footed motherfucker.
What about me, Steve?
Like,
What about me?
I remember his first game for us against Man United, and he got through on goal, and he could have shot, and he didn't, and he had to shuffle it to his right foot, and by the time he did that, they got back and got the ball off him, and I was screaming. Like, I was at the game, and I was just screaming. Obviously, like, I didn't think he was any good. Then I got proven very wrong. Very wrong. But I was just like, how one-footed could you be? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, it was funny.
But at least with his one foot, he still did good, you know.
Oh, no.
Like our friend Lamella.
Don't get me wrong. Sheringham,
he did good. He did good. Yeah, he did good.
Love
And he came back, remember? He came back.
Yeah, but his vision. Oh.
Yeah, but how many Rabonas did Sheringham score, though? That's the real test.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you the great thing.
How many goals did he score from straight off a corner where they do that corner?
Anderton.
Yeah, boom, boom.
I tell you what, Jay, you're no, because you were there. I had the joy and the privilege of seeing Teddy Sheringham so many occasions, where he's the number one striker with Jurgen, with Chris Armstrong, with Robbie Keane.
Jurgen, I was going regular at Jurgen when we got.
That was my first proper year, and I had my season ticket for 10 years, the season after, and I used to watch Teddy Sheringham. The thing with Teddy, like, it's all good when you watch him on TV. When you watch him live, he could see things 3 passes before they happened, and you would just hear him scream for the ball. And right, all right, Teddy, calm down. And it'd be in a position, and then 3 passes later, it's a goal. His vision was absolutely outstanding.
That man did not need pace because he could just read the game.
Bang on.
Phenomenal player.
Yeah. Oh, that's good football IQ.
Oh, 100%.
One of the most cleverest footballers I've ever seen play live.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Not like our shitty players now.
Klinsmann into that magic pot of goodness, and it was just
Ian, have you heard about the new Amazon special?
Oh, here we go.
What?
No.
Again?
Weekend at Joe's. It's like Weekend at Bernie's, except it's,
I gotta tune
Lewis.
in for that. I have to tune in for that one.
Yeah, Joe Lewis as Bernie.
I used to wonder how we could have been so bad in the 90s with some of the players we had. And then I watched this season, and now I understand.
Who was it? Do you remember? Was it Newcastle that spanked us hard?
7-1.
Really? Yeah. Do you remember
5-1.
the look of... I've never seen a manager look as pathetic as Francis did. The pain on that guy's face. It was... I felt bad for him.
But, Jay, do you remember Laurent Robert scored 2 crackers on that game? Volleys from like 35 yards. They were... Yeah, we used to get bashed on a regular, but I must admit, I was with Jerry Francis, or not with him personally, but I was at Southampton when we beat them 6-2 and Ronnie Rosenthal scored that hat-trick.
Oh, right.
That was one of the greatest games I've ever been to. He did do some good, Jerry Francis, but he couldn't do worse than... Who was the manager before him? Ozzy.
Yeah, but see, Ozzy was just, I've got one thing. Attack! Everybody! Attack!
Yep. If you score 4, we score 5.
Attack!
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
Stevie B. What do we think about Stevie B, guys? What's the panel think about Stevie B?
I actually I think he's a decent squad player. Like,
I agree, but he's not ready to start.
I think there's a player in there though. I do.
Yeah.
I do think that, and he's
I
a
don't
young
see
lad
it.
still. I think there's a player in there.
No, he's 23. He's not that young.
His finishing is not good, and he's not like if you look at him, he never takes on players. He always scared.
That's not true. I mean,
he never takes on players.
The goal he scored in the last game was specifically because he did that. He ran the press. There was a loose ball. He took on 2 players for it.
But that's one game.
Beat them both and scored.
That's one time. Like he doesn't do it.
He
enough.
does. I
but he doesn't take his
Here's the
chances.
thing. The reason why that's wrong is because the reason why he didn't seem to take on players this season is because he was told not to. It's because of the role that he was playing under Jose, which was as a defensive right winger. He was almost like a right wing back sometimes, where he wasn't supposed to push too far up. The only times he ever went far up is when Kane would drop deep and fire a ball over the top.
My problem with him is that for a winger, his shooting is pretty poor.
Isn't he right-footed? Why is he on the right side? Shouldn't he be on the left wing?
Because Son plays on the left.
His right?
His Son plays on the left.
Son should be on the right. He can play with his left foot just as well as he could with his right. To be honest with you, Son. So there's an imbalance. But no, we need to sign Leon Bailey. So we need to sign.
I mean, look, I agree. We need an upgrade, especially if we don't bring Bale back. But I think Bergwijn has potential. The finishing thing, I think it all came down to that game at Liverpool, and after that, his confidence has been on 0. And that's what finishing is all about. If you're not confident, you're not going to score. You have to make your decision, stick to it, follow through, and that's when you put the ball in the net.
Can I share with you guys what I would do if I was Steve Hitchen?
Yes.
What would Will do if he was Steve Hitchen? Well, I'd get rid of Lamella, first of all, right? Probably get 10, 15 million for Lamella. Then you get rid of Lo Celso. Probably shouldn't have bought him in the first place. But get rid of Lo Celso. Get rid of Dele Alli, Harry Winks, Dyer, Sanchez, Davies.
Sissoko.
Even Sissoko, Sissoko for a certain role, he's not horrible. Sissoko doesn't really give a lot of the ball away.
No, but he doesn't try. He doesn't try anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah, Sissoko's one of the players.
It bothers me when
Go on, Jay. Sorry, bro.
It bothers me when a professional footballer gets past the ball and he looks like a deer in the headlights. That bothers me tremendously.
Yeah, I would use him for more of a defensive, if I need to make a defensive substitute from a squad player. But anyway, so I would hire Leon Bailey, sign Leon Bailey, I'd sign Jack Grealish.
Is Mom home now?
And we got some background noise. I would sign Jack Grealish, Leon Bailey, Ivan Toney, then 2 center backs. That 5. If Kane goes, obviously if Kane doesn't go, we keep Kane. But if Kane goes, that's who I would sign.
You know what?
And I would play in a 4-3-3. And you have Mora would be, and you'd have it would be with 2 CMs. So you'd have Grealish on the left behind Son. And you'd have Ndombele behind Leon Bailey. And you'd have Lucas Moura that would come in and fill, if we wanted to switch to a 4-2-3-1, or we have an attacking mid, you bring in Lucas Moura to play that role. And he can also play backup to Bailey and backup to Ndombele on the right in that CM spot. And then you have, center backs and the left back and the right back. Right back is probably a position we need to sign as well. But
I think that dead ball specialist.
Do you guys think that Tony will come, even if Kane is still around?
Well, Brentford could be in the Premier League.
Ivan Toney will come if Kane is still around.
No.
To play backup striker to
he actually,
Kane.
in an interview, called Kane selfish.
Kane is not going to be around. That's done.
So, Will, I want to ask you. We'll go around the panel. So, when you say Sissoko, one of the things I see Sissoko being, if he's still here next season, is I think we need 2 of the Deadwood to be in the Europa Conference League team for experience, and only go play with the Europa Conference League team for that bit of experience, and maybe play the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. And I think Sissoko would be one of those players who would do a good job in that. To go with them for the experience,
with the youngsters.
Yeah, because you're going to have to know. There's no way in God's green earth in this Conference League we're playing 11 youth. I hope we play a majority youth. I hope we play a majority youth, and I hope it's like, let's say 6-7 players youth. But I think you need a couple of
I'd be surprised if we saw more than 4.
Yeah, but would you put Sissoko in that kind of? If you had to, let's just say one player. Would you say Sissoko would be a good one?
Yeah, Sissoko, Mora.
Sissoko and Winks. Get him out there.
Not Winks. Not Winks.
Winks is gone.
I'm good with that too. Get him out.
Sissoko, Mora. I would play Ivan Toney in that role. If Scarlett, I would probably switch to. If I'm going to play the youth, I'd probably switch to a 4-4-2 and play like a Toney, Scarlett, and then a Sissoko, Mora in the middle, or maybe Sissoko or Mora as the right-sided in that 4.
Because don't forget you got Divine and White as well.
Divine's the one.
Divine would probably be the left side midfielder on a 4-4-2.
I'll tell you what, that kid's got some promise.
I rate him higher than Scarlett.
I'm not saying he's the next coming or anything, but he has definitely got potential.
I am.
There.
Jay, I am.
Skip. I forgot about
you're
Sessignon,
going
Skip.
at it. You're hanging your stick on that one.
Put it this way.
Skippy?
So I've got so basically we've got a family friend back home, and so they're very good friends with my parents, and one of their sons was on the medical team of Wigan.
Yeah.
And that's his job.
Irvine to build confidence.
This guy was waxing lyrical about Divine. So I was paying a little bit of attention for him once I found out Wigan were in trouble. And then you just saw it. All right, it was against Marine, but he's younger than Scarlett. He was controlling the game. I honestly think, and like I said, I think Dane Scarlett is going to have a better career than Michael Owen and be better. And I think that highly of him. But I think higher of Alfie Divine.
I tell you what, that Conference League could be a good tournament for Irvine.
Could be a great one.
Dean Scully reminds me of Rashford in a way. He kind of reminds me a lot of Rashford. The way he moves, the way he makes his runs. I honestly feel like he's the next Rashford.
Yeah.
But we still have to give them the chance to play, right? To develop with the team.
It's a good job we qualified for the runners-up medallion cup.
Yeah, have you seen Joe? I think I WhatsApped it to me. Have you seen one of the team names? Into your mum.
Yeah, I was watching one of your shows earlier with someone.
Is that the real team?
Into your mum. Put it this way. I'm gonna put it on the camera right now. 1 second. Where is it? Let's go into. Where is it? Let me go into Tottenham away.
It's spelled a bit different. It was on the trip. Yeah.
Tottenham away. Where is it? Where
is it? Just made that on the spot.
Isn't the team that Son?
Okay, here you go. Here you go. 1 second. Let's see if I can get the camera.
Is that in Tottenham away? I can just share it here.
Yeah.
Your mum.
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
They are. They are a
Send
team.
it back in there again.
Say again?
Send it back into Tottenham away chat again.
So it's at the bottom. 1 second. All right. Wait, Will. I'm going to send it to you directly.
That'll work too.
That is a class name.
Yep. And also, apparently, there's a Greek team in there where Daddy Kyriakou was saying it's Golas or something, and Golas actually means arse in Greek. So we're going to play arse into your mum.
Wow. Man.
And if you look on the first picture, Will, where it's got all the teams, it's the very last team mentioned. But then obviously I've got the.
God, we better win that competition, man. Who's like the best team in the
Roma?
Roma, right?
So we could be playing Jose.
I mean, there's also I think
that'd be fun.
The final.
I think Villarreal is also in the competition. Well, if they win the Europa League, then they won't be.
There's a couple of half decent teams in it.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Look at the last name.
We got Aberdeen.
Into your mom. Oh my God, it's real.
Yeah,
Hibernian.
it's real. Ruben Kazan.
Torpedo.
Arnhem.
Torpedo.
Basel, AK Athens. That's a decent club. Ruben Kazan. Bate Brizov. Rosamund Paco. I can't even pronounce most of these.
Strasbourg from
France
Turkey.
Yeah.
Sochi,
They fell off.
Wolfsburger.
Maccabi, Tel Aviv.
Guys, I have a
Sochi.
quick question. Like it says we need to qualify. Like how is that possible?
So the way it's broken down for us is, thank God, it's not like the Europa League last season. We come in at not the first or second.
Last
I think it's
stage
called the
qualifying.
qualifying round. The last, let me get the exact words up. Where is it? I'll get the exact words up. So the way the fixtures
Into your
are-
mum.
You've got to love that. Okay, so this is how the Conference League starts. You've got the first qualifying round on the 8th and 15th of July, both basically 2 legs. Then you've got the second qualifying round, the third qualifying round, and then the playoff round, which is in August. And that's where we come in.
Yeah.
So we missed
The
out
last
the 3
qualifying
qualifying rounds. Yeah, with the
We
one
get
round
into-
before.
Yeah, we get into
Could you imagine the banter that we'll get if we end up playing Into Your Mum from the Arsenal
And
fans?
can you imagine if we lose to Into Your Mum?
Well, here's the thing. Another thing too, isn't it like the Europa League where Europa League teams that finish third in their group will drop down into the conference?
Oh, no,
league?
no. I think they stopped that. They do?
Yeah.
I thought they stopped all the drop downs, right?
Nope.
How many teams? Is it 32? Is it 30? Is it?
It's the third place teams in all groups in the Europa League group stage drop into the Europa Conference League.
Into
And
your
it's gonna
mouth.
be round of 32, right? Or is it round of 6? It's round of 32, right? That's the first.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
That
no,
means
there's a
the
playoff.
Champions League, same thing, will drop back down into Europa League. Europa League, third team will all drop down into the Conference League. Yeah. Then we'll get some big names coming in, hopefully.
Hopefully not.
I don't know,
think
but
it-
it's now 1:20 in the morning, and I've got to be out for work at 7. So I'm
120.
going to
Where
bed.
do you live?
Yeah,
Nova
cool.
Scotia.
Are you in a different
Oh.
time zone than the rest of us? I didn't even realize that.
Canada?
Yeah, where does everyone live? I'm curious.
I'm Nova Scotia, Canada. Atlantic.
Okay.
North
Ottawa,
Carolina.
Malaysia.
North Carolina, Asia.
Ottawa.
No. Oh, okay.
Virginia.
I'm in LA.
Oh,
Virginia, okay. We don't have any Midwest people, which is Colorado Spurs. Someone should get up on here.
Anyway, gentlemen, it's been
Jay,
emotional.
enjoy the match of the day, Links, buddy.
take care, man.
I will do. Thank you much.
Take care.
Take care.
No,
Good
worries,
talking
buddy.
to you as always.
Yeah.
See ya.
Guys, I have a small question. Like,
Into your mum. Yeah.
did you see Alistair Gore tweet? Who do you think it might be the coach? Like, I have a bad feeling like it's gonna be like some nobody.
You asked Ian, and you shall receive. Alex lives in Texas.
Okay.
Is that Jamie?
No, you said about what manager will sign. Dietrich's.
Oh,
Yeah.
which manager are we going to sign? Oh, I know.
According to
There
Alistair,
are too many
It
names.
could be a toss up,
Right, right.
seriously. I mean,
I don't really care, to be honest with you. Anybody's
yeah,
better than
seriously.
me.
Yeah, I feel like even if we got like a big name, like Allegri or someone, like I
I
don't
don't
have
want
any.
to like Grady.
I know I'm just saying, like a big name, like
I don't
Allegri,
care.
like, wow, like or whatever. But it's just
Anybody but Graham Potter, Parker,
So,
or
I think
Mason.
if you're
I'm
gonna,
good.
I think if you're gonna go off what Alistair Gold said today,
yeah, exactly.
where he's gonna push, where the new manager is gonna put pressure on Levy in terms of financial restriction and whatnot. I think that leaves 3 choices, right? So one is if he means financial pressure in the sense that it's going to cost money to get him out of his current job, then there's Ten Hag, because it's going to cost a lot to get him out since he just signed a contract extension. If
1
he's talking
year.
about in the transfer market, then I think the 2 options are, the first one would be Conte, because he's clearly not happy at Milan. He wants different players, and Milan is hurting for cash. So it could be Conte, which I would not be a fan of that move either.
No more of Chelsea sloppy seconds.
Yeah, no,
Unless
thank
you bring Skriniar.
And
what
then
if go
the
ahead,
third
sorry.
one I would say it could be is potentially Zinedine Zidane. The way things are working out with him stepping down at Real
I see
Madrid
that.
and Bale with his comments the other day really makes
Yeah,
it
he's
sound
retiring, right? Yeah.
yesterday. It sounds like he's not coming back to Spurs at the very least. He might not ever play football again. So,
Kieran, if it's anything to Dan, we should sign him as a player, let alone a manager. The way our midfield is at the moment.
I take him over Harry Winks, even at his age. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
A manager.
Honestly, I don't think Zinedine Zidane would be that bad, to be honest with you. Like nobody thinks of him as a great tactician, but if you talk about somebody who's going to stand up to Daniel Levy, I couldn't think of a better person.
Well, he'll put the
But
players.
Daniel Levy's not going to get someone who's going to stand up against him.
I mean, he'll just headbutt people in the locker room. I mean, could you imagine like Winks pulling a weird type of situation, and then Zinedine just walks up to him at halftime and just headbutts him?
Dele tried to nutmeg him as well.
That'd be great. Be great. Be great.
There's another manager that I think that could refer to that tweet where just he wouldn't take shit from Daniel or the members would be Bielsa. I mean, Bielsa he would not just no nonsense. And
I agree, but that's why he won't come.
Yeah, but he wouldn't get on with Levy.
Situation here. He won't come.
Yeah.
Bielsa ain't coming for one reason only. He's a man of principles, and he is very, very pro Poch. And after what happened with Poch, Bielsa ain't touching Daniel Levy, and Bielsa would knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he would demand some money, and then he would just be like, "No, you get 30 million this summer. That's it. He's gone."
Could Zidane talk Kane into one more year?
Terry Wright is on fire. He is on fire.
Terry.
He really is on fire with his comments tonight. That is a damn good point.
It is. He could be that man. Yeah, it's just weird how things are starting to move around. With all of a sudden, after there was no whispers of it for the whole season, all of a sudden Zidane's going to step down at Real Madrid, and now Gareth Bale has come out with his stuff saying he knows what he's going to do next season, but it'll cause chaos. Well, if he's coming back to Spurs, it wouldn't cause chaos, so that's not what he's doing. It's just weird. All these things are kind of like moving together in a way where I think it could be Zidane.
Zidane needs cash. Do we know that though? Because Zidane hasn't been anywhere else.
It's too good to be true. Come on.
Zidane hasn't been anywhere else though,
no,
so we don't know if he needs cash.
He's always been to Madrid. Yeah,
I think he does need cash. I think one of the reasons why he came back to Madrid was because he had like a promise with Perez.
They brought him back.
Huh?
They brought him back.
Since
Zidane didn't want to come back.
I'm calling it here. I think Terry should replace Steve Hitchin.
Terry.
He has been on fire this evening.
Steve, your job is under fire.
How about Roberto Martinez, the Belgian?
No, thank you.
No.
He didn't do great with Everton, so
No. He should stay as Belgian manager. Stay there.
I have to admit, I will say one thing. I kind of like the way he sets out his team with Belgium. I mean, obviously he's got brilliant players to choose from. I mean, what a stacked squad. But I just like the idea of, and I think it would be good for Spurs too, to play an attacking, high press possession style, but to play it out of like a 3 or 5 back formation. I think that would be good for us. I think that would help. I think the fullback.
Lone Tree Klinsmann isn't. I don't want. No. I've had enough of him as the U.S. men's national team. I'm cool. Don't need Klinsmann.
Yeah, let's never talk about the U.S. men's national team. Jesus Christ.
God, yeah. We're getting better though. We got a lot of good young players coming up.
Circus. Yeah.
We got a lot of good young players coming up though. I think
2026 World Cup could be
the one.
It could be a really good one for Team USA for sure. They got some great young players up and coming.
I mean, no, like
Canada and USA and Mexico, right?
Yep.
The bid.
USA, Mexico, and Canada, but most of the matches are in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. And I've said wherever England are, whether I get a ticket or not, I'm going. Wherever it may be.
What are the host cities again? Canada. I forget. In the U.S.
Well, for one, it's only going to have to be. It can only be stadiums with natural grass pitches, and because that's a problem. There's a lot of turf pitches in the U.S. So
yeah.
And the
It'll have
size
to
has
be
to be a
natural.
40,
Oh no, I mean they're
40,000
not
seater.
playing them in. They're not playing them in any soccer specific stadiums because they're not big enough, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be minimum 40,000 seater.
yeah, no, it's gonna be NFL pitches. So you got
Yeah.
Nashville, Kansas City. I'm just listing grass pitches. I don't know if that's where the host cities are.
Chicago.
You got a few in California.
They did that in '94, though, didn't they, guys? They used NFL stadiums for
Yeah.
the World Cup. They didn't build new
Yeah,
stadia.
they didn't build anything specific.
It was
Oh.
after.
Yeah, they won't build anything new this time either.
No.
You'll probably get one in Atlanta in the Olympic Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium. Yeah,
Hope
probably.
they play in the Toronto FC Stadium, BMO. Let's get it.
Well,
man.
yeah. Well, apparently they're
Blow it
building,
up.
they're
List is
rebuilding
already
that.
out.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Toronto Stadium they're already going to start, or very
They might
soon.
do mine.
developing.
Did you hear the thing like for 2030 they're talking about hosting it in North Korea?
Oh,
What?
Jesus. Oh my good God!
What? How is that even possible?
No, you have to bid.
They put in a
You have to
bid.
bid.
They'll be
No,
like paranoid that a sleeper cell is going to come in.
Yeah.
Country.
I mean,
No, for the
if you're on the FIFA board and in North Korea,
No,
bid
for it's not a
comes
FIFA board.
across,
Hey,
you have to.
money. Money talks.
Money from where? North Korea doesn't have any money.
They'll
From
go
the U.S.
They will
Where do you think they
all
get
it
their
up.
money from?
That'll be the
We
the
pay 'em not to
34 World
bomb us.
Cup
They're
will be
not
on the
going to
North
get
Pole.
like tons of people traveling in to see the World Cup in North Korea. Like, what? It's crazy enough
Half
that
of
they
them will go
chose
in.
Qatar.
All
I
of them will go in, and half of them will come out. The rest will be detained.
Yes. And everybody comes out with all sorts of diseases. Oh my God. It would just be a disaster. Absolutely not.
But I did
That's
hear
not
that
gonna
maybe
happen.
2030 there'll be an Asian combined bid.
That would be
So
cool.
in Canada, it's going to be Montreal, Edmonton, and Toronto.
You know the Rose Bowl has grass.
Of course.
Natural grass.
So you got the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, the Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, and then the smallest one, BMO Field in Toronto.
Is it the BMO field? Is that the one they're using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tiny ass stadium, man.
Yeah, it's like 30,000. And then you got Mexico City, Monterrey, and Guadalajara in Mexico.
But
And then they're
the
doing it
Mexican football
at
stadiums are huge.
Yep, Los Angeles.
Yeah, but the
the
pitches
Rose
are
Bowl.
bad, so hopefully they invest in that.
It's the Coliseum have
MetLife Stadium in New York/New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
FedEx Field in Washington D.C. There you go, Kieran. AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Mile High in Denver. NRG in Houston. M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. That's not too far from you, Kieran. About 4 hours.
Wait, how are they doing that? That's a turf pitch.
Yeah, they got a few years to change it.
Yeah, they'll probably just put
Bring in a
grass
grass
over the
field.
top.
Yeah,
And then Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
because that's a turf
nice
pitch
stadium.
too.
That's a
Oh,
nice
yeah, I
stadium,
guess
though.
they're just going to
man.
bring in grass because
Yeah, they'll put it on top of the turf pitch.
Overlay it, man.
Philadelphia, Lincoln Field, Nashville, Nissan Stadium, Seattle, Lumen Field, San Francisco, Boston, Cincinnati, Miami, and Orlando.
are they playing in? Did you say Charlotte? Are they doing Charlotte?
Nope, not doing Charlotte.
Well, hey, man, if you come up to FedEx for a game, let me know since that'll probably be the closest one to you. Let me know if you're
Yeah, I'll
coming
probably
up.
have to.
If anyone wants to come down to Houston, we can put you up.
Oh, Alex, wicked.
Nice.
Alex, who's that
Well,
bill
that
you
would
were
be-
talking
that's
about in the
something.
chat?
Sorry?
Who's the bill you were asking me if I knew in the chat?
Oh, I was in reference to I don't go to any of the games at the bar here because I'm an alcoholic, so I
Same
don't go to any of the bars. So I don't get to go to interact with any of the fans in the bar themselves. So this is my only interaction with the fans. And I was just wondering whether you had the email address of anyone for the Houston Supporters Club so I could get in touch with them in reference to doing an in out protest somewhere, because I'm a very loud individual and would like to get involved.
So, Alex, a couple of things. How long have you been sober for, my man?
3.5 years.
Amazing. Well, July will be
Congratulations.
Nice.
July will be 13 for me, and it was the best decision I ever made. So, I'll just tell you now, if you ever need to talk about anything like, are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm on Twitter. Officially, I have a Twitter account, but I've only ever made one tweet.
Okay, so
So-
Alex, on the private chat now, I'm just going to put in my private number. Give me your number afterwards, or just give me a text or something, and then what I'll do is I'll get the information for you and send it that way. But if you ever need to talk about sobriety or anything, or you just need to talk to anyone, no matter what time, pick up the phone and speak to me, brother.
Cool. Thank you.
Spurs family,
No worries.
always.
And Lone
Big
Tree,
up, Ryan.
my wife's father was from North Korea as well, but that was like pre-war.
By the way, I just wanted to say I don't want to make fun of anybody from North Korea or anything like that. I was just saying that, like,
Doubt there's anyone from
No,
North Korea on the
I
stream
think objectively that's a ridiculous.
You never know.
If you're having a
just,
World
I
Cup
was
in
just
North
saying
Korea,
from a
come
logistical
on.
standpoint,
I'm
it makes
I'm
no sense. at all.
99% of Koreans would agree with you that it would be ridiculous to hold a World Cup in North Korea. So.
Yep.
South Koreans, anyway.
Kieran, Kim Jong-un is coming for you.
Oh,
Kim Jong-un is coming for you.
they're gonna
Joe
hack my
Lewis looks like
computer
Kim
they
Jong-il.
did with Sony.
Do
They're
do
gonna
you
hack
remember what he did to his half brother in Malaysia in the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you say? You
And
never
it happened
know.
on my home turf. Gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How long did I know Spurs came to Malaysia not too long ago, right? A year or two ago,
Sorry?
3 years ago. Didn't Spurs come on an international tour to Malaysia
it
not
was
too long ago?
Singapore.
Oh no,
Singapore.
No,
Sorry, it was
in
Singapore.
Malaysia they did. It came once, but it was about 6-7 years ago.
Oh,
Then
okay.
after that, they shifted to Singapore, which I have a theory why they shifted to Singapore, but I'm not allowed to say it on screen here. I'll tell Will later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is
But
AIA
Will will let
based?
you all know why.
Is
No,
AIA based
AIA,
in Singapore?
AIA is big in Asia, very big in Asia. Yeah.
Okay.
We have had AIA here since the 60s.
Are they
Yeah.
big?
It's
Are
been a
they
long,
based
long brand
in?
here.
Are they based in Singapore?
You mean the
or-
headquarters?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. AIA is an American. Is it
No, it's
American?
not American. I've never heard of it. I've lived here 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
Yeah, AIA. No, nothing.
Cannot be unless it's an Asian insurance
All right,
company.
Joe, it's true.
Yeah.
Careful,
Right.
Willie.
I'll look into that, but AIA. Yeah. That's why I said if I'm doing any kind of thing on this side of my world in Malaysia, I'm heading to AIA.
Oh, their headquarters is in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Hong Kong. Evil Man is from Hong Kong.
At some point in the next 2 summers, I'll head over to London to see a Spurs game for the first time in my life, because little like graduation present for graduating college. So that was always the plan, is to go to
Awesome.
London and see a game. So I'm counting down the days till it happens. I'll be so happy.
Congrats.
Yeah, man.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Now I'll get over there one of these days. But
I know. That's what I've been saying that for like 5 years, but it actually is happening. So you don't
Yeah.
never get yourself down.
I'm gonna show you why
But
it's
guys,
true, Joe.
guys,
I'm gonna show you why it's true, Joe. Okay, ready? Joe Lewis.
Oh my wow.
Oh gosh.
That's Joe Lewis?
That's Joe Lewis.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Like 900.
84?
Dang. No,
Look.
you're right. There's resemblance.
No, but this is Kim Jong Il.
Yeah,
Look at
Kim
this.
That's what he
Jong-il,
said.
Joe Lewis.
Kim Jong Il.
They look alike.
I think
Sorry, Joe.
Alan Sugar. Speaking of that, I think Alan Sugar did an interview on TalkSport where him
Oh,
and
no, come on.
him and Simon Jordan were against
That
Spurs.
is
introducing
all
the fan.
billionaire talk.
Yeah, both of them, him and Simon Jordan were against Tottenham having the little fan, the fan representation.
yeah.
Joe says he's a young Steve McQueen. I'm not convinced you're alive, Joe. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think they're propping you up like a puppet, like Weekend
Yeah.
at Bernie's.
He's
Yeah,
never
no,
really
honestly,
clean.
habeas corpus, because we haven't even seen Joe Lewis in public in like 3 years. So, like, we
Yeah. When was the last time I actually saw him?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Man, who knows? Maybe last year when Lewis wanted to sell the club, Levy, Took care of him.
Yeah.
Made sure that one happened.
Took care of it.
Yeah.
Took care of it. Yeah. And he's on his yacht, right? Yeah, he's there. Yeah. Maybe in deep freeze.
Yeah.
He's lived on that boat for like years, though. Apparently, he's best buddies with Tiger Woods.
Seriously?
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
Get Tiger Woods to invest in the club.
Speaking of Tiger Woods, the Irish Hotspur, Dave Harris, he said that he thinks Bale is going to retire from football after the Euros and join the PGA Tour. What do you guys think about it? Yeah, how likely do you
it's
think
definitely
that is?
possible. He's only 31, so I mean that's prime golf age, to be honest.
Is he that good? I mean, I know he plays a lot. He's that good.
He is very, 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 very good. But I'll tell you now, I don't think he's going to retire this season and go on to the PGA Tour. But I reckon once he retires, blatantly, he is going straight to try and get onto the tour. That will be a show. I just don't see it being this season. I mean, if you've still got a contract for one, if you've got listen, if you've got a contract for one more year at Real Madrid where you're getting £600,000 pound a week, whether you go on the PGA Tour or not, you're staying for one more year.
Yeah.
Whether you get loaned out and Tottenham, if it's Tottenham or another team, pay a certain amount of that wages, there is no way you were. And we actually worked out. Me and a couple of friends did this as a calculation. Gareth Bale on that contract is basically on £1 English pound per second.
Yeah,
seriously,
£1 a second.
What's Messi on for £2 million a week?
You're not leaving that contract.
Yeah, but like at this point, the guy's got to have so much money that like he's set, his kids are set, his grandkids are set. Like
generational money.
What about Lionel Messi, who's on like $2 million a week?
Oh, it's ridiculous. That's the one you got to talk about because remember, now he can leave for free at the end of the season.
Yeah.
After that whole Man City
You
thing,
just go and not take a wage forever. $2 million a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Man City signed
That's
Kane
before
and
tax
Messi?
or after tax?
Just a quick Google search from there's a Bleacher Report article on Bale. It's Bale's golf game from 2015, and in 2015 he had a 6 handicap. So, I mean that was 7 years ago. So he probably is near scratch golfer by now, or under par for sure.
Because have you ever seen Joe Lewis's boat?
Yeah,
It's like 230 feet long.
Yeah.
It's like
is that it?
It's not as big as Jerry.
Look real.
Hey, not as big as Jerry Jones's yacht. I'll tell you that.
It's bigger than my dinghy, that's for sure.
I mean,
it's got a lot of freezer room, you know.
A lot of freezer
It's
room.
crazy. The guy looks like a Bond villain. He has a yacht like a Bond villain.
Someone said he has an art collection worth £1 billion. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is fact.
Probably, yeah.
This dude is a Bond villain. Like,
So- Why can't he just sell a painting and buy a player? That's what I want to know.
Because that's all been collected by money laundering for damn
Sell
sure.
your 7th favorite painting.
And you know what? Actually, well, you might know this because you're good when it comes to financial and finance. I saw that thing today that apparently he's made 330 odd million during this pandemic, so he's now worth 4.3 billion.
Yep.
I was like, do you know what? Why don't you just chuck a year's interest of 4.3 billion into the club? What would that technically? I know obviously we don't know what account it is and but what would the rough, just an estimate of the interest be on 4.3 billion for 1 year?
Ooh, look at that thing. Look at the little tiny boat
That
beside
would be enough for us to get some quality players. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. Just give the interest. Don't even invest your. Just give us your interest and piss off.
I mean, if
I'd
he
love
really wanted to, he could easily pump in like 200 mil, you know, the same Abramovich.
Easily.
Listen, he's worth 4.3 billion. He could have paid the stadium off and still had 3 billion. Listen, just chuck 300 million. That money you've made, 300 million to him is nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
It's nothing.
especially when you're knocking on death's door. She has to be, judging by the way he looks. Yeesh.
And you live on a boat in the middle of the sea. It's not like you go to the shops every day or whatever. You're in the middle of the ocean. Just put some of your money into the club for
because he get arrested if he leaves the boat.
Do you have any idea how much it costs to ship supplies to international waters? It's so expensive.
Yeah, he probably gets a helicopter.
Astronomical.
It's ridiculous, but I'd love to know what the interest is. If anyone in the comments,
you can murder people and not get arrested for it.
But Will, what would you say roughly? 4.3 billion, roughly, interest-wise.
4.3 billion.
Guys, the reason why Spurs plays in Singapore now is in our private chat. Have a look at it.
What?
In the stream.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Used to be
Understand
Hong Kong, but that's changed.
Singapore is the biggest now. Hong Kong, yeah, but once you went back to China, they had to move all the things around. Yeah, it's the biggest now. It's been for a very long time, right? And the best part is that nobody can question it because the country controls it tightly, right? Even last time when Switzerland was that place, right? But now EU has put set a law against the Swiss that if any questions that has to be answered, you have to answer it. But it doesn't work in Singapore. Yeah. So now we know why the past
129 million.
How much, sorry, Will?
3%. If you had 3% interest, so just in bank, 129 million a year.
So even if you did that every year, on top of the transfer key,
you're making too much sense, Brian. That makes
I know. Do you know what it is? I've been a
We're
Tottenham
dealing
fan.
with absolute brain deads.
Who would have thought billionaires to invest in football clubs and help strengthen the football team to make them a richer club? Who would have thought of such common sense?
If they really, like, there's that argument, like, if everyone's saying, like, go back to that 2016-17 season and just cancel all plans for the new stadium and invest in that squad because that squad was undefeated at White Hart Lane. And so, if imagine just imagine a world where instead of this whole new stadium, we invested in the squad, and we get like those 3 or 4 new players that we needed. And let's say Spurs got across the line. Let's say we won a Prem or 2, and maybe the Champions League. I mean, if that's not with that squad with 3 or 4 players back in 2016-17, that's not a crazy thing to say. And so, if we won those trophies, we would be this team that a lot of people want to come to, and then build that stadium. We would be massive. So there should be an investment plan into the team's performance, not just for this worldwide marketing, because it could go both ways. The bigger the better the team plays, the bigger they are. The bigger they are, the more money. So you want more money? Let's make this squad where they need to be. I don't understand what's going through their head.
The stadium was rushed because of the ESL.
Yeah.
Remember,
that's true, yeah.
The stadium was built in that way because of the ESL.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's definitely believable, but I don't know. I think Levy wanted us to be a, like Poch said, he wanted a big mansion with no furniture. He wanted to at least show everyone we got this big old house. Look at us, this huge club.
It's not even just that. The thing is that although you're right that the investment in the squad can bring bigger returns than the stadium, the problem is Levy doesn't like to take risks as a businessman. He's terrified of taking risks. Buying players is a risk. You never know whether they're going to work out, despite how good they were previously.
Head of it.
But the thing with the stadium is you invest in the stadium, that's guaranteed return. Just because you're more than doubling the amount of people you can get in for match day revenue and all the other new, things that the stadium brings along is more revenue as well. The only thing you didn't consider is, COVID, but nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
So,
Folks, we are coming up on hour 3, and my voice can't take it anymore. So let's do our outros, final thoughts, plugs of a channel or Twitter accounts or whatever you got to do. Brian, I'll end with you. So, Abdul, final thoughts and any plugs that you want to make.
Final thoughts. Bring in Basuma and put Højbjerg on the bench. That's just my opinion. I don't think Højbjerg is good enough with the ball on his feet. I like more tidier players. I like nice, tidier guys who are really good on the ball. I don't think Højbjerg is really meant for that. I think bringing a guy like Basuma, putting a guy like Ollie Skip right beside him, I think you have or even Sabitzer. But actually, that's the money. We don't know about the owners or whatever. That's money. And terrible ending to the season, but again, at least we're ahead of Arsenal. Me personally, I want my team to go. I don't say all in, but I want a pretty strong side in the conference. I want this trophy. Say what you want. I'm desperate for a trophy.
I'm with you.
If you're in the shitty competition, goddamn, you better win it at least. All right, I don't want to see you losing to flipping Krasnodar or Trabzonspor because you played heavyweight and Sissoko. That excuse is gone. 13 years, whatever it was, without a trophy. I'm not counting the Audi Cup. Just give me this European competition. I'm not even going to call it European competition. This doesn't feel right calling it Conference League. Just give me this damn Conference League. Play a decent, strong enough squad. I'm not saying play Heung-min Son, but goddamn it, play like a Steven Bergwijn. You know, instead of playing a junior left back, play Ryan Sessegnon. You know what I mean? Like, don't go too weak. What I'm trying to say, win me this competition, get me Basuma, and I'm straight. And my Twitter account, I'm barely on Twitter. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. Abdul Kareem _15, whatever. I'm never tweeting, but whatever. Fuck it. That's my Twitter account. You can always catch me on the Will Stewarts. I'm always in the comment section. You know, my Twitter fingers is going all over the place. In Irish Hotspur, I'm always in the comment section. Love being there. Best spot in the house. And yeah, man, just
Tottenham Way, you're in the comments there too. Don't forget them as well.
Yeah, I was waiting for that, Abdul. How dare you? I'm right here. I'm right here.
But of course, Tottenham Away. I love Tottenham Away. Amazing channel, great guest, great panel. Every single time, whenever I'm going like a little jog or something, I just plug in my earphones and I'm just going at it while Brian Daigle's just ranting about Levy. That's how I get my extra drive and motivation. You know what I mean?
I gotta try that.
Music.
Workout.
You gotta try it. It's better than any music. I'm telling you. Just
going to war music. It's like literally.
It's better than any music you can listen to. But yeah, man, I'm proud to see all the different Tottenham channels that are growing by the day. There's new Tottenham content creators coming out, and say what you want, but a lot of people, when we're going back to the question of what makes a team a big club, the fan base is a huge part of it. And I'll tell you what, the new Tottenham channels that are coming out is helping that, turning Tottenham into a big club in a lot of eyes. Even though we don't have a trophy, the fact that we do have a bunch of content creators and we're killing the game in the YouTube game, there's so many different people. It's no longer just Expressions or Chris Cowlin or even Ben and Sim. You now got the Irish Hotspur. You now got Brian Daigle. You now got Marcelo. Tons of people coming out. Keep doing your thing. I rocks with all y'all, man. Peace.
Don't forget BJ. And
Bodie Quack.
Yeah.
And looks like Joe Lewis and Steve are going at it in the chat. Joe Lewis says, Steve-O, into your mom, get on it, lad. Steve says, you want me to scout into your mom?
Oh my
and Joe says, you love to enter your mom, Steve-O.
Oh.
Joe says, I'll enter your mom, Joe. Joe says, get on it. You're a good lad, Steve-O. I'll keep you around. And then I can't wait to ship out all the players to enter your mom, Joe. It'll be a great watch.
Oh my god.
No, these two deserve a round of applause. These two have been going at it all day.
Oh, no. They've been gracing my channel for about 2 weeks now, and it's brilliant. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Nice.
I'd love to.
If you saw that and you laughed like I did and you didn't hit the like button, you're screwing up.
Yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Joe,
man.
tell all the fans to hit the like button and subscribe. That's what you should do, Joe.
Well, talking about the trial, I have to say, the guy that came on your show last week, I was listening to it. The guy that came, because I didn't come on, I was so tired last week. The guy that had a different view And the one that actually came on,
Peter.
the one that what a great guy.
Yeah.
What a great. I mean, it took him a long time to get off. I was watching it. You say, right, I've got to go now, and he kept going and going. But do you know what? Fair play to him. Fair play to him. He came on. He said he was feeling nervous, and one of them came up. And if he's watching tonight, big respect. I actually wanted to say that ages ago. Big respect to that guy, Peter, for coming on. Big respect.
He said, and big up to Joe Lewis. He's like, come on, everyone, hit that like button for young Willie. So, do what Joe Lewis says and hit that like button. And Steve Hitchin, tell everyone to subscribe, or I'm taking your job from you. Joe's already sent me a DM and says that if BJ is as good as they say he is in Mexican prison, that he's replacing you, Steve Hitchin, next week. So
it's become a mate. You've got a cult following with that dude from one show.
Yeah.
He has become like a cult hero. Mate,
I can't go on a stream now without somebody talking about my cousin, man. It's horrible. He was on for like 15 minutes. He wasn't even on that long.
Honestly, that ended
Then
with
later there'll be a demand for we want BJ. We want BJ.
Oh, they already are, dude. I'm telling you, every guy out there right now is chanting, I want BJ. I want BJ.
I'll tell you what, at the Toronto protest, at the Toronto protest, I will have a free BJ placard that goes around Niketown or whatever it is. I will get that going as well.
Work in the corner.
Hey, Joe. Joe says he knows people in Mexico. Can you handle BJ's bail? To make sure he's out in time for the next Two Brian show? But do me that solid, Joe. Bail my cousin out of Mexican prison for the next
then
show.
we will free BJ. Yeah.
Who's Mick Foley?
The WWE wrestler.
That's a wrestler?
Yeah.
BJ needs to get out so we can play Into Your Mum.
Come on.
Joe Lewis says he knows people who know people who know people who know people. He'll take a peek. And Steve Hitchin says we're on it. We'll figure out a way to free BJ.
Free BJ campaign. Hashtag.
You might win something with the fan base over here if you can free BJ, Steve Hitchin. You'll win some points. I'm not saying they'll be on your side, but they'll at least win some points. So the next person to do closing is Alex.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I think it's been a very disappointing end to the season. I'd really like to see Ten Hag as the manager. My only reservation, apparently he's got a terrible personality, but that's only what I've read. I don't know the man individually. The sooner we get a manager in, the better. I hope Harry Kane doesn't go, but it looks like he's on his way out the door. I work about 60 hours a week, so you can find me occasionally on Will Stewart Rants channel, and I do subscribe to the Irish Hotspur, and I've only ever tweeted once, so I can't really say I've got a Twitter account. So that's about all I've got.
Alex, you need to get on Tottenham Away, mate. Hello, where's
I think
Tottenham
he's
Away?
been on your show once.
I have been on Tottenham Away as well.
Oh, there you go, sir. All forgiven.
Absolutely. I was on there today at work in my back pocket. So
thank you, sir.
I was there. I couldn't get on the live stream and text though because I was at my place of employment, unfortunately. But yeah, Tottenham Away. So there you go. That's all I got, guys. I wish you the best of evenings.
Big up.
Cheers, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. And Ian, your first time on the stream?
First time on.
Tell
really
us
enjoyed my
about...
time. Yeah. Well, tell me about myself. I'll tell you
tell you about yourself, where we can find you, and then any final thoughts you have on the season.
I'm on Twitter, Los_Angeles_Ian. That's my Twitter, Los Angeles Ian. And I first appeared on Ben and Sim's channel, and then I started learning that we got other sub channels. We got Will, we got Tottenham Away, and I was like, I gotta check these guys out because I know they are solid people and solid content creators. So first time on today. Closing thoughts for me is I would obviously manager in as soon as possible is better. But whether that manager, whoever it is, I mean, I'm a little. Doesn't really matter to me that much. I think Ten Hag, yeah, he's a good shout, I guess. Like, I mean, there's not really a solution to it. The problem that we have right now, and it all starts at the top. So Enoch out, Levy out. You guys know, spread the message, and I'm gonna come on anytime I can talk about Spurs.
So Joe, yeah, Steve Hitchen has been scouting the Irish Hotspur a little bit. That's who David Harris is. You may not know of him. He's a striker,
though. He's a striker. He's our Harry Kane.
Not a right back. And he says, "Great shot from Brian. I wouldn't mind flying BJ out to watch Tottenham into your mum."
What the hell?
Sorry, Ian. Yep. 100%. Ian, I hope you come back to the show.
Yeah.
It's a little less.
Yeah,
it's a little more. It's a little more free than the We Are Tottenham Away or We Are Tottenham.
No. I remember a comment earlier. Some guy was saying it's kind of like a bar vibe. Just some guys and girls talking about
just friends.
And that is, I mean, come on, you can't get better than that sometimes.
Yeah, it can get off into the weeds. Like I think last night we talked about food for like 35 minutes, and then
hey, I'm here for it. I will be there for it. Quality stuff on here. Quality people as well.
We'll keep doing this show. It'll either be on Friday night or Saturday night. I'm not sure, but it'll be. We'll keep doing it all night long, all summer long.
Hey, I'll try and be as much as I can. I'm gonna try and get on Tottenham Way too. I love talking to all you guys about everything and anything. Seriously, anything. It's an FB Spurs. We're talking about food.
The Two Brian show is not good for me. That's why I usually send my cousin over there. Like the timing, I'm usually busy. 7:00 on Fridays. I got too much going on. But my cousin goes on there sometimes. He's a little bit of an asshole, but you guys see him on there.
No, honestly, we were truly honoured to have your cousin debut on Tottenham Away.
But what the funny thing is, I didn't even, like, at the time, I didn't even think that my cousin was being that funny. But the funniest part was you and Danny, right? Like you and Danny's reactions to my cousin were funnier than my cousin.
When he said THFC rants,
the THFC rants.
I was
you were on the floor.
Honestly, and I'll tell you now, I'm not joking. I've watched that video, that bit. I think I've watched it no less than 85 times, and I laugh every time. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. BJ is always welcome. Will be his one phone call a week he gets from Mexico prison.
He may, after coming out of prison, he may not show up in such friendly states. I think he has a bone to pick. So apparently, well, he said Cody Mack ratted him out, but Cody Mack says that Modi Quack ratted him out.
Okay.
And Ian's like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?"
Oh yeah. Oh, Ian, sorry.
You have to go watch last Friday's Tottenham Away, the Two Brian shows.
You're creating your own lore at this point. Like,
I'll go check it out. Don't worry, I'll check that out.
Yeah. You please watch the whole thing. Just scroll to the last 25 minutes.
Oh no! Do you know what, Ian? Ian, I'm going to WhatsApp it to you now. The bit that I lost my WhatsApp it to you now.
Okay. No problem.
Good.
But
you guys.
Yeah, but no, it's pretty funny. And who's next? Kieran.
Yeah, well, as always, thanks for having me on. Good chatting with all you guys. First off, shouts out Tottenham Away, We're Tottenham TV, the Irish Hotspur, Bob Spur TV, Holly Agambar, Holly's Hotspurs. Just a shout out to all you guys. And very last, and most importantly, shout out to you, Will. Thank you. No, I saved you for last. You were acting like I was gonna forget you on your own show, man. Come on now. No, thanks thank you so much for having me on and having all these other wonderful Spurs supporters on and giving us a platform to talk and debate. I don't know, but just for me, this channel, along with all the other channels, has really helped me get through this whole COVID period and this hellish season that we've just been through. It's been really good for the mentals, just being able to be a part of this community. And for me, this is the best thing right here about supporting Tottenham in 2021 is this YouTube community. It's so awesome. So many wonderful people like Steve Hitchin here. And Joe. But, yeah, it's been a hard season, guys, but, keep the faith. Let's just try and bother the hell out of Harry Kane and honestly, in my opinion, Gareth Bale, too, to try and get them to stay. Let's hope we get a half-decent manager in, and let's hope Levy is scared enough about his pockets that he'll actually empty them a little bit this summer. But come on, you Spurs.
Joe, are you going to empty some pockets this summer or what? Yeah, we don't know. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, Kieran. You're a great guest. I always love having you on, dude.
Oh, thanks.
You are a staple of the channel, and we hope to see you back week in and week out. Another staple of the channel is Eugene.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you first, Will, giving me the chance, right? Thanks all the other Spurs channels, like what Kieran said, Tottenham Way, Brian, David from Irish Hotspur, Bob Spur, We Are Tottenham, Holly, all the great channels out there. We are a family. We're finding a family in this group, okay? And we all have one objective and directive, is that we know what we have to do, and we must do it. And I've started a new station. Thank you to Will. His suggestion. It's called Spursation TV. Spursation TV. Or Spursation TV. Spursation, yeah. This is the channel that I'm going to develop for the Asian community. But, of course, all is welcome. And maybe we can do some bilingual chats and streams and all that. Right? And most of all, thank you, Will. And right, and I still do a shout out for my wife in Myanmar for their process for the democracy, and of course, peace to Gaza, peace for Gaza.
Peace, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's Spursation
Come on, you
TV.
Spurs.
Is that a separate YouTube channel or
Separate YouTube channel? But I will affiliate. Spursation TV is an affiliate of Will THFC Rants, not Rants, okay? And of course, we're part of the Harris Army.
I just watched the clip, so I understand the reference now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now you understand.
You saw me losing my shit.
Yeah.
And then if you watch back about 20 minutes from that, there's like a whole spiel.
Story of it. You watch really. And thank you all, guys. Yeah. This has actually helped during the pandemic, being locked down all the time, giving a lot of people a chance to come out and speak about the club we love, right? And try to push for more changes, better changes, positive changes, right? We have to unite as a fan base, okay? And I guess, thank you, Will, again. We'll see each other again.
For sure. I mean, our normal schedule will be only slightly adjusted. And we got some big things coming up this summer that Brian and I can't really talk about yet because it's still in planning stages. But we've got a
and Brian, and see, let's see if I can build up the Asian channel and all that. Maybe we'll do some inter streamings between the Asian fans and all that. That's what I like to do, to bring the Asian fans to you guys. So at least dialogue, education, inspire them, build up our strength.
Absolutely. That's a great.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us would love that.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. Your turn, Brian.
All right, Brian.
Okay, so final words. I'm only going to say a little bit about the season, then I'll speak about some good stuff at Tottenham away. Basically, Levy's an arsehole. Lewis is a twat. Enoch are corrupt. Get the fuck out of my club. Jog on. And now basically back to Tottenham away. We have the great Cody Mack coming on the show tomorrow for our live stream, our Monday special. We have the two Brians, the official home of BJBJ. Free BJBJ. I've never seen a cult hero become from one show that's literally taken over all YouTube channels on Tottenham. Everyone is wanting a bit. I'm honoured, Will, that your cousin decided to come onto our show, mate. Honoured. And as I said, like Will said, we've got a lot of stuff planned. Tottenham Away have got a lot of stuff planned, as Will has for his channel. Will, I just want to say, honestly, I've been on your channel since when? Since pretty much near the beginning, like the first or second or third week.
Almost day one.
And I have to say thank you, because I have to be very careful what I say on Tottenham Away, because obviously I can't get so explicit or get X-rated because of the time we come on and whatever. You have been the channel for me just to let loose. And like Kira said, mental health, as you know, Tottenham Away did a huge show on mental health. My mental health has not been good over the last few months, and having shows like you, our show, and all the other channels really has been therapy. And I see a lot of people in the chat that follow all of us everywhere, and it's just an incredible thing to be a part of. To think we've only been doing it for a few months has been outstanding. And Will, honestly, it's just been a pleasure coming on your show. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and it's a pleasure to say that you are one of my nearest and dearest as well now. So catch me on Tottenham Away, but you'll always catch me on WillTHFCRants.
Yep. And breaking news. Joe Lewis has just said that he has just spoke with Captain Jesus Fernandez Jimenez Rodrigo Pasquez Jr. He has informed me that BJBJ will be released this week. And Steve Hitchin, BJBJ is now #1 priority at Tottenham Hotspur for the moment. Forget about the new manager and Harry Kane.
Well, this is actually getting a bit serious. This is actually exploding. This has actually gone beyond.
Will, BJBJ needs his own show.
The bit is just incredible.
No, I'm actually insulted. I put in a lot of time and effort on this channel for myself, and now my cousin comes on Brian's show for 25 minutes, and now he's this worldwide celebrity.
Mate, I'm just waiting for free BJBJ to actually be trending on Twitter. That's what I was.
I'm waiting for like protests down the street of London with people handing up signs, free BJBJ, free BJBJ.
That's got to be done, mate. You've got to do it. You've got to do it with your collection. I bet that'll be your top seller.
Yeah. Do a free BJBJ.
It's up to him. We get a shirt. Yeah, free BJBJ.
Yeah,
you watch that fly off. That will fly off the rails, mate.
I'm definitely gonna get one of those.
I got some friends here watching the stream now, right, Will?
The perfect shirt to wear to a party.
And they're laughing off, and they want BJBJ.
Most people do. I mean,
they say, "Where's BJBJ? He's so funny."
No, I'm serious. Anywhere I go now, people are asking me about my cousin.
Yeah.
Did they say anything on We Are Tottenham? Has it got as far as We Are Tottenham TV today?
I don't think so. No. We'll have to do that tomorrow morning or something.
Oh, geez.
If you wake up early enough, Brian, to go on there morning after a show, you should mention how Will's cousin's in prison. Like, you just play it into it. Like, you don't even have to just be like, "Hey, Will's cousin, he came on our show the other night. He's in prison." So, we're trying to raise awareness for #FreeBJBJ.
He's exclusive to Tottenham Away.
Power to the people.
Catch him on his weekly phone.
BJ.
Oh, mate, this is honestly.
See what they say. 'Cause I don't get up that early. They do that show at like 9 o'clock. So
if I get on it, I promise you, instead of leaving with my Levy Out tune, I'll say
free BJBJ.
Free BJBJ.
Hashtag Levy Out. You have to do both. Hashtag free BJBJ. Hashtag Levy Out.
I promise you I will do it. I promise you I will do it.
Now, Ben and Sims will ask you, who is BJBJ?
And then I'll just say, go and watch Tottenham Away, the world famous home of BJBJ.
We got to get them to replace one of their Enoch Out signs on the set with a free BJBJ. Imagine if they had gone on Sky Sports with that.
What are they talking about? What are they talking about?
I think I did. I may not have posted it in the Spurs family chat, so Ben may not have seen it. I did post it in the Tottenham away, so Ben may have seen it.
Ben has definitely seen it.
But and he says maybe you shouldn't enter your mom and just focus on BJ, Steve-O. There you go. There you go. Phil Lewis has commanded it. They want him released. But
Jesus.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming. If you guys want to hang out in the back for a little bit, you can. I'm going to remove the stream right now while I do my outro.
I'm off to bed, so Levy out, free BJ. Later.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you
Spurs! Until I die. Always.
Come on, you Spurs!
Yes, I have a cousin in prison. He's here. You can see a picture of him here. He's pretty sad. Free BJ, and he will be coming back soon. But I'm gonna pull you guys out. See you in a minute, folks. We need good media. Yes, we do, Joe Lewis. We need the good media. He says, Kraken Show is always going to bed 2 hours ago. Thank you. John Fitzpatrick, Brian, have you ever been to the Camden Place back in your old days? Brian's not here anymore, but he can answer you in the comments. But folks, this has been another Will Stewart THFC Rants. Don't forget, if you want to help support the channel, or if you want to help get BJ out of jail, you can help that cause at patreon.com/THFCRants. And some of our Patreons are Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Code, Celery Agent, AG, Kogamanim, Tony Go, and Alex Earlton, who was just on the show. Forgot to thank him for that. Thank you, Alex, if you're still watching. Also, too, www.thfcrants.com, and you can pick up meme merchandise from the shirt or from the show on the channel. Everybody wants some BJ merch, so I'll have to get his permission to put that up there, and we'll see what we can do. We'll get you some BJ merch, and people, I guess if you want it, they can buy it. But also, too, this summer, season's over. What are we going to do now? Our bald and bearded Tottenham Boys show will be the same for as long as Cody can do it. Our morning THFC show will be the same for as long as Cody can do it. My Q&A show on Thursdays at 1:30 or at 12:30 p.m. New York time, 5:30 p.m. GMT will stay the same. This late night THFC rant show, depending on the amount of information, will be one night a week, usually on either on a Friday or Saturday night. I have not decided yet. That just depends on how many other streams that we've got going on, because we are working on something that is going to be a massive show. I can't go into details, but I'm telling you right now, it is going to be blockbuster. So stay tuned for that. News about that will be coming out in the next week or so, hopefully. And then, so we'll still do the rant show where everyone's invited on, either Friday night or Saturday night. And if there's a lot of interest, we can rock it to 2 nights a week. But normally I think one night a week, but we'll be talking Euros, transfers, all that stuff. So this show won't be going away. It'll just be getting bigger and better. And thank you guys for doing it. We are on the push to 1,000 subscribers. We just got this the other day, 700 subscribers on the 22nd. Today is the 24th, and right now I'm sitting at 736. So we want to try to get to 1,000 subs by the end of May. Help us out by sharing the stream with your friends. Or if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Steven says, good night, Will. Don't worry about BJ. I've just informed all staff to stop operations and focus on freeing him. Steve, man, I appreciate it. I'm sure BJ will appreciate it too. I mean, look how sad he is. Look how sad he is, Steve. Look how sad BJ is. You know, he looks cold and lonely. Cold and lonely. Help him out, Steve. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. I couldn't have done that without you guys. We will see you. The next show that we will have on this channel will be Tuesdays. Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boy Show. If you're not familiar with that show, that's the logo for that show there. You will see it Tuesday at 1. I can't remember. It's in the About section. I think it's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see. Let me tell you right, because I forget. There's so many shows. 1:30. So the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boy Show stays Tuesdays, 1:30 New York time, 6:30 the UK time. And that will be our next show. See you on Tuesday. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. We love you. Stay strong. Stay Spurs. And happy St. Woolwich Day. We'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.